Yo, 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 what is up? What is up? What is up, guys? I hope everyone's doing fantastic tonight. Welcome to the late night stream on this Friday night. Hope everyone's going to be enjoying their weekend. Obviously, Labor Day weekend, so hopefully everybody's off this Monday. And you know what? We have a game next week. This is it. I mean, we are ready to go, and obviously, I want to, talk to you guys and see what you guys think of just how comfortable do you guys feel going to this Week 1 matchup. We'll obviously we'll get more into the Packers this weekend once we do the preview and stuff like that. So, but really, where we're going this season and just everybody that we've gotten together, between the roster, free agents. Obviously claiming a couple players like Byron Young, getting rid of, releasing Marlon Tuipulotu and him going to Kansas City. You have that other kid that they signed today plays a lot of positions in the secondary, which is great to have on your practice squad. Are we good with tight end? Are we, good with a whole bunch of stuff? So, it's gonna be interesting, guys. It's gonna be one of those seasons. So I'm hoping for a really good time. We're hoping. I'm gonna be very critical this year, and that's where we're gonna be. That's where we're gonna be. So it's great. It's great. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. We got John, we got Nathan, E Money. What's going on? Infinite Posture, Jay Tyler, Rowland Yancey. What's going on, Wombat? And we have a very, very generous super chat. Holy shit. Like, go buy some groceries, go buy some diapers for the baby or something. But Judah, what's going on, man? It says, Joey, love the content, not an Eagles fan, but I respect the team and the fact that you are honest. You are not biased, so that is awesome. Dude, I knew Judah a long time ago. Judah Tribe. I think this is Judah Tribe. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I think the Chicago Bear fan, if I'm not mistaken, knew Judah a lot of years. We actually talked crap towards each other, I think, a long time ago. Probably a long time ago. So Judah, I appreciate you coming in. But no, I mean, I feel like if, I don't put on some persona for you guys. Like, this is the true me and how I just do content. Simple as that. If I'm not myself, then I shouldn't be here. If I'm not myself, I shouldn't be here. If I'm trying to act like something else, I shouldn't be here. So when it comes to every player that deserves to be thrown under the bus will be thrown under the bus if needed. Coaching staff, if they're not doing a good job, I will say something about it. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. And that's really who I've been this whole entire time. So that's where we're at in this whole situation. And, I'm glad, even outside of the Eagles fan base, that people do respect what I do. And that's great. You know what I mean? It's nice to hear that. I don't hear it a lot. But I that's an awesome thing. So Judah, thank you for that generous super chat. Didn't need to do that at all. But that's awesome. So I appreciate it so much, man. Beyond the world, I appreciate it so much. Shout out to Judah Tribe. Shout it out. What's going on, Philly by day? What's going on, man? Nate says, Joey, what's up? 125 says, what's your favorite football college team? I honestly don't have one, to be honest with you. I really don't. Savvy says, what's up? What's going on, Joe? What's going on, man? What's going on, everybody? Judah says, not the same guy, but just doing my part to help a small career. I love to give. I appreciate it so much, dude. It means a lot. That's a lot to give, dude. That's money in your pocket. The world is not easy to live in. Everything's expensive and everything's crazy. So it's huge support, and I thank you so much for it. Beyond the grave, man. I appreciate it so much. Beyond. What's going on? That dude, Chucky Stovers. What's good, man? I'm trying to say this name right, so I don't screw it up. Juracan Millie? I don't know. I'm probably saying it wrong. I do apologize. Hey, Joey, you the man. Can't wait for football season. Hopefully the Eagles will pick up a good safety. They pick up DT from the Raiders. Go pick up everybody, Joey, your weekend. Yeah, dude, like, Byron Young's a good player. I mean, they liked Byron Young, so the Raiders gave up on him after 1 year. I mean, he was a third-round pick last year for the Raiders. You know, the Raiders, between their move to Las Vegas and what they've been doing so far, you know, they got rid of Marlon T pretty damn easily. He signed with Kansas City. Byron Young comes right in. You know, he flashes really good. Pressure-wise, technique, very good, throws people around. His play is actually pretty damn good, and the Eagles feel like he's a lot better than what we have. I watched Brian Baldinger's video today on who's the best pass rusher for the Philadelphia Eagles right now. And obviously it's been Jalen Carter. And really, if Jalen Carter gets the slide protection towards him, there's going to be a lot of these guys on the defensive line. If he's getting doubled or chipped most of the time, who's going to have those one-on-ones? If everybody has those one-on-ones, who is going to be the guy that's going to win those one-on-one matchups? I'm hoping Jordan Davis. If they want to slide to Jordan Davis, to Jalen Carter, that's perfectly fine. But Jordan Davis, I mean, we're hoping that he has a big year. The pass rush will be there with him. That's what we're hoping. But yeah, I mean, Bryce Hall's got to make a jump. Jalix Hunt is probably going to miss a game or two. I don't know with this injury, the same one that Dallas Goedert has, the oblique injury. So that's kind of crazy at this point. You know, there's a lot going on, dude. Like, the defensive line to me is just still lackluster to me. I mean, I got to see more from Nolan Smith. Jalix Hunt, I think, is a really good perimeter scheme fit type guy for this team. But I just haven't seen enough guys get pressure on the edge, unfortunately. Bryce Huff and Josh Sweat and Brandon Graham really have to push hard if no one else is putting in the work. And that's where we're at right now. Tight end is one of the worst positions right now. Still to this day. I mean, Dallas Goedert is still out with this oblique injury. I mean, we don't catch a damn break. I mean, thank God EJ Jenkins actually got through waivers. Thank God, as of right now, we have, you know, Jack Stahl on the practice squad. You know, Calcaterra just can't stay healthy. And Dallas Goedert, man, like, I don't even know what you do with him after. I think you keep him for another year, maybe, but he's got 2 more years left. So by the time he turns, 30? He's 28 right now. By the time he turns 30 throughout that season, he'll be a free agent. So technically, the end of 26, I think he's a free agent. You know, so it's, you know what I mean? So you don't have Dallas Goedert for that first game in Brazil. It's really going to suck because now that's less hassle that Green Bay is going to have defensively against you. But there's still a lot of weapons. Regardless, it doesn't really matter. But, you know, Kellen Moore loves his tight ends. I think we all know this. So it's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts. Coyote says, would it shock anyone that knows me that I am a hardcore mistake guy? Love me some Fletcher Cox, Darius Slade, Chris Jones, Jeffrey Simmons, Emmanuel Forbes Jr., and yes, Dak Prescott. No, hey, you're a fan of that team, and you know you're gonna have players that are either division rivals that are here now. Wombat, what's going on, man? It's 7 days till Eagles football. Everyone like the stream. Appreciate it so much, dude. Everybody like it up. Appreciate it so much. Frank says, Josh Jobs signed with the Seahawks. I saw that. Andrea says, record prediction. I mean, I kind of have him at like 13 plus. Really 14 plus wins. I mean, I have him literally at 13 right now. And 14 plus if they surprise me even more, which they really shouldn't be a surprise. It should be like, that's what I expect. Freddie says, Marlon's pretty decent at run stopping. Is a run stopping DT. From what I know that he is, he's flashed in the pass rush. His run stuffing ability is it is better. It is better than his pass rush ability, but his pass rush just flashes. He hasn't, I mean, it's when he was with the Raiders, he had weapons around him, so he was flashing a little bit more than usual. But now with the Philadelphia Eagles, he might put in some work in this rotation. We'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? We'll see. I got to see more. I don't really know yet until I really see more. Witch King says, apparently Dotson changed his number to 83. I liked 87 better. Well, 87 is Brent Selleck's number, so I didn't really expect him to keep that. And if he did, then okay, sure. We're going to find out if Cooper DeJean's going to keep his 33. The 33 is growing on me a little bit. I actually like the 33 a lot. 33 is pretty good. Watty Pump says, I think the NFL should hire some security secret service for both teams in Brazil. Brazil is a mess right now. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing there's a lot of crime going on in Brazil. There's wildfires happening in 30 cities right now. I mean, AJ Brown and was talking about how they can't, there's all these rules and regulations you have to follow. And I don't get why these players just the coaching staff literally told the players stay in your fucking room. You know what I mean? If it's that crazy over there, I'd seriously, I don't mind international games. Germany's good, the UK is good, but this fucking shit in Brazil is to me, I just get a bad feeling about it. I don't even I already hate this game as it is. I hated this game. I don't know why a Brazil game is the first game of the season. I mean, at least the good thing about it is you're kind of getting it over with. But really the realistic part about it is you have two teams that are traveling pretty far, okay, and unfortunately, this is where you're at right now. I mean, I hate that it's a home opener for the Eagles. We can't wear green because the rival soccer team of Brazil wears green, and so what the fuck are the Packers wearing then? I mean, both teams have green. The Packers are going to be wearing their home jerseys, right? I mean, I would suspect. 125 says Dallas Goedert is a great weapon, but he misses about 5. Yeah, he misses about 4 to 6 games. I mean, that's what he misses. It's unfortunate, dude. I can't stand it. When Goddard got the oblique injury, this was after the third. What was after the third? I forgot when he got this injury. I forgot when it was, but it's a mess, dude. It's a huge mess with him, and this tight end group is not good. Last year, we couldn't find out who our number 2 tight end was because you trade for Albert O, and then you do nothing with him. Then he gets hurt. Then he's hurt again this offseason. You re-sign him again to a 1-year deal. Now he's having surgery, muscular tissue surgery, and now he's on IR for 8 weeks, whatever it is. You have no, look, EJ Jenkins, let's be realistic here. We like EJ Jenkins to make the team, okay? But at the same time, EJ Jenkins, he flashed, but you're not seeing anything crazy. You're not, you know what I mean? It's nothing insane. It's nothing, you know what I mean? I can't take too much out of EJ Jenkins until I see more and see him against better players out there and shit like that, And Calcaterra, I don't even know if he's a good blocker. At least with Jack Stahl, he might not get crazy separation, but he's got reliable hands, and he's a great blocking tight end. He's fantastic. And I don't think he'll ever leave Philadelphia. I think they have to extend Jack Stahl after this year. I don't think they really let him go. I don't even know what's going on for the first game. They're going to elevate somebody. They've already elevated Orden Burks for the game, which is great. Odin Burks, I was actually really shocked at his last game and how good he did. I like Orden Burks a lot. I think he's fantastic. I just think, I think a guy that's a savvy vet coming in and, that's another linebacker you have ready for game day, which is a great thing. So we'll see how that goes. We got a super chat for Chris Kaufman. Thank you so much, man. It says, doesn't seem like a safe location. It smacks of a borderline third world nation. I've never been there, so I couldn't tell you. But Devontae Smith doesn't want to fucking go. A.J. Brown doesn't want to go. No, I don't think any of these players even want to deal with this shit at all. Simple as that. They'll play in Green Bay or they'll play at home. They don't care. They don't want to go. Wombat, appreciate the super chat, Chris. Chris, it doesn't see. Let's see. Wombat says no. We can wear green. That was just something dumb. No, I think it's no. I think it's actually true now. I thought it was fake. I don't know. I don't think it's fake because I read it today again. Unless I'm that fucking wrong, I don't know. But Hector Rams, I remember when I first started watching you, there was a lot of camp hype around Carlton Ugasosi. Remember? I don't even fucking remember, dude. I don't even remember that guy. I'm trying to figure that out, figure who the hell that guy is. Beats me, bro. If it was that long ago, I probably don't remember. YT Pumbuck said, very concerned about the Brazil game now with Twitter being banned. So what if oh, yeah. Okay. So what if players are still having Twitter downloaded? Would they get in trouble? I'm very worried. Yeah, well, that's why they're sitting in their hotel. They're sitting in their hotels. They're hanging out in the hotels, and that's it. They're hanging out in these hotels, and they're not going outside. You can't even be on your cell phone outside. From what AJ Brown said, it's kind of fucking ridiculous. Reggie says, I kind of wish the Eagles signed KJ Hamler instead of trading for Jahan Dotson. I mean, KJ Hamler would have been a pretty good player. I like KJ Hamler as well. The problem I have right now, and look, I don't think it's a big problem right now. It's really getting Jahan Dotson up to speed in a week. So he's learning a brand new offense in literally 1 week, a week and a half. So hopefully he'll be starting. I'm not worried about that, but hopefully he'll be making some plays for us, doing some good things. And man, it's crazy, dude. Like, you forget we signed Saquon Barkley, the Jahan Dotson trade. Like, any team defensively in the league doesn't have 3 legit starting corners. Because Jahan Dotson will be lined up on the safety, and percentage-wise, he's been very good against safeties. Like, I don't know who's really going to be able to catch him in open space, to be honest with you. He's not a 50-50 ball. He's not contested catching anything at all. But someone's going to be open every play. I mean, but you really need your tight ends to be up the point too. So that's where we're at. Aaron Jones with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, what does Sirianni need to do this season to keep his job? He just has to be him. I mean, really, he just has to continue what he was doing. Stay away from the playbook. Don't touch anything. Don't mess with anything. Don't change anything. Let Nick be Nick. Let him be the motivator. Let him be the cheerleader. Let him keep the guys up when they're winning, and let him kind of get these guys back mentally when they lose a game. Like, the players believe in Nick Sirianni. I believe that 100%. Okay, for him to keep his job, you have to. Jeffrey Lurie needs to know that these players haven't given up on the head coach, and if that happens, it's already too late. You can't fix that mess. Nick just has to continue what he's doing. That's where we're at actually right now. Key of operations, NFL as a multi-billion-dollar industry has clearly not run a due diligence on Brazil game. It's appalling. I'm a UK-based fan, and London was no drama when I saw them. I think honestly the UK is the best place for international games. I think Germany's pretty good. I do like the UK a lot. There's a really great. It's a great area. Great fans over there. That are getting into football and embracing the NFL now, which is an awesome thing. But I'm just hearing all negative shit about Brazil. Wildfires, violence. Apparently apparently from the wildfires, there's all this pollution to the air. I don't know. I'm just reading this shit. I'm not in Brazil right now. I can't tell you all that. I'm not there live right now telling you what's going on in Brazil. But you know what I mean? But who's really going to this game either? I heard the tickets are like over $900 for a fucking seat. I mean, who can afford that? Sure, I could pay $900 for a seat, but do I want to? Not really. I mean, I'm hoping there's a lot of Eagle fans there. Hopefully they're traveling well. We'll see what it's like that first game, but it should be very, very interesting. Infinite Pod says, who remembers the camp hype surrounding Frankie Orgstar Holm? I have no idea. So Sunseed says, bro, if we can handle Quez, we can handle John. Oh no, I'm not worried about that. I'm just saying, like, a week and a half for a brand new playbook. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's, it could affect him a little bit in the game. Maybe he doesn't know every single thing, but I think they're putting a lot on his plate, and they're just kind of saying, dude, you need to know this. We need you out there, and that's where we're at. Reggie said, if the Eagles and Packers are going to Brazil, I better see Roger Goodell's down there too. This is his and the owner's doing. Yeah, I totally agree with that. This is where they get their money, dude. They want to spread out. They want to branch out and put football in other places. I don't think this is the best place for the players. I don't know what's going on over there. Is there like a bunch of picket signs and people, is there violence on the streets, with trash cans on fire, like from the Joker movie outside? Is there stuff going on like that? Probably not, but I don't know. I don't live there. I can't tell you that. I don't want to judge it by just hearing what I'm hearing. Freddie says, because we are the home team, Corinthians, the home team, don't want us to wear their rival colors, which is green, which is why it's okay for the Packers to wear green. Well, that's some biased bullshit that's the case. The Packers can wear it, but we can't. Because we're the home team, we can't. So we're the home team. We can't wear the midnight green just because of that reason, because we're home. Because we're labeled home for this game. You know? You can't come out of that game 0-1. Because I'm telling you right now, that Falcons game, it's not going to be as a cakewalk as everyone thinks it is. The Falcons have gotten better on both sides of the football. Kirk Cousins has looked pretty good, but their defense is very good. Their defense is pretty good this year. A lot of weapons, so you really can't go into that game 0-1 because it could go downhill pretty quick the first couple games. So hopefully not. YT Palmer said, I don't mind the UK games. UK is an awesome country, but Brazil, you're putting players at risk. All I've been hearing is really bad things over there. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't want to judge anybody's, I don't want to judge anybody's place of business, Let's see. Aaron said, if Mike Tomlin gets fired, we need him as a coach, no doubt. Sirianni, like you said, is a well, no. I'm not saying cheerleader as in I say it as a joke, but I say it as what he has been doing, okay? I don't know, if the Eagles make it to the NFC Championship game and lose the Super Bowl and win, I don't think you could fire Nick. It just makes it look bad. You know what I mean? If you made it to the NFC Championship game, you had a really good season. So I don't think anything bad during the season is going to happen. But the one thing they can do is if they lose the NFC Championship game and they feel Kellen Moore needs more control, and you don't want Kellen Moore to go anywhere, because if Kellen Moore goes somewhere after a really good year, we're back to square one of trying to find an OC. We're back to square one of everything, and it completely sucks. So what do? What you're going to do as of right now is you're going to demote Sirianni to assistant head coach, and then you're going to promote Kellen Moore to head coach. Nick will probably still have his regular duties, because they're close in there. So I don't expect Nick to lose too much control over things if it goes well this year. But I don't think you're flat out gonna just fire him. I don't think that's gonna happen at all. What's next? A football game in Dubai? We're gonna play in fucking Egypt next to the pyramids. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play in Egypt. Chris says, I can trust the UK to protect their players. Brazil, not so much. Wama says that's why they went Richie. Maybe not even eventually. They want to grow the game global. Why he bonus is $900 for the seat, $2,500 for the flight. What? No fucking way. $2,500 for a flight? You better put me in a fucking hotel, and you better have half naked women feeding me fucking grapes and alcohol. You better have something going on when I get to that hotel. That hotel, I better have a golden fucking bathtub. Shit. Eric says, we signed Kellen to a multi-year deal. He ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I'm just saying, if they it doesn't matter if they sign him to a multi-year deal. Okay, it doesn't matter. Do you know how many coaches leave way before their 4 years is up? A lot of coaches do that, and the Eagles will owe Kellen Moore money if he leaves. You know what I mean? So the multi-year deal thing with a coach doesn't mean anything. They're millionaires. It's a $1 billion company. The Eagles is a $1 billion franchise. They have the money to pay whoever they want. And they don't care if they lose coach. They're not just going to keep a guy in there because of how many years he has left. No. Evan Pasha says it's commonplace for UFC events in Brazil and have the crowd completely empty out by the time the main event ends because of time zone safety. Don't be surprised if the crowd is empty in the fourth quarter. It wouldn't shock me. I don't expect any crowds to take any sides. I feel like it's going to be a quiet fucking game. It's going to remind me of 2020 probably. Probably a 20. Not that bad, obviously, but Philly Flowers said we need just more on defense. What we got ain't nearly enough. Yeah, but what are you talking about though? You know what I mean? So James Bradberry, how about the James Bradberry situation? I thought that was like a joke. I thought the Eagles put him on the IR without any context on injury, but then finding out he actually has a lower leg injury, right? The worst timing possible when we're literally looking for a trade for him and he's already hurt at this point. So I'm kind of confused a little bit. Where are we going with this James Bradberry situation? Now, how are they going to use Cooper? Cooper DeJean is going to be lining up all over the field, whether they use a 3-safety set or they're going to add another DB with one extra less lineman so they could do different sets like that that could keep Cooper DeJean on the field and have him on specific matchups in the game, and obviously making those adjustments series by series of what Green Bay is doing offensively or any team's doing offensively. I'm not a big fan of what they're doing at safety when it comes to the depth pieces. I like Reed as a solid player. He's a solid player, but sometimes his coverage is lackluster. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, he's a really good player for us. There's really nothing else. Like Sidney Brown is actually pretty close to coming back. Like he's way ahead of schedule. I don't believe he's going to be back. He's obviously missing the first 4 games. He's going to be on the PUP list, so he's missing 4 games automatically. He'll be back by the bye week, probably. He'll be back week 5 by the bye week. So he'll have a whole extra week of rest. So we'll see what happens. Safety, like if Sidney Brown was healthy this year, I would feel so much better, but there's really nothing there. Like I really like Andre Sam. Like I think he's just one of those shit talking, just feels himself up all the time, just rangy, hard-nosed football type safety. Like I really like him a lot. I do like that guy. Mekhi Gardner's on IR right now, or he's on PUP. I don't know what he's on still. So he's been out the whole entire offseason program. So safety-wise, yeah, it's not much. It's really not much there as of right now. So interesting to see what they do with Bradberry being out of the mix. I don't know what they do there, to be honest with you. They're going to bring up somebody else, no doubt. Rep said, what up, Joey? Do you think we run the ball more or pass more this game? I think you have to start with the running game, dude. You got to start with the running game. We need to establish the run game with Saquon Barkley before anything happens this season. It's a different year now. It's a different year now. You're paying a running back $12 million a year now. Like I expect this, you're not. There's no more not throwing screen passes and not checking down to running backs like we didn't do last year. You're actually paying a running back now, so you have no choice but to get this run game going. You better get this run game going early. You don't want Saquon Barkley to try to find the offense, trying to find their rhythm, trying to find their identity through the run. It's got to work. It's got to work regardless. We got Raul Yancey. So I was just watching RG3 interviewing Chauncey Gardner-Johnson on IG Live, and he asked him about Sirianni. I wish you heard the things he said about Nick. CJ has his back 100%. He would run through a wall for Sirianni. I'm telling you, a lot of these players love Sirianni, and that's a good thing. Because the one thing Jeffrey Lurie wanted to know at the end of that horrible fucking disaster we had last year, right at the end of it, because Jeffrey Lurie definitely meets with the players, say, hey, how do you feel about Sirianni? He gets all the feedback he needs. If he feels his roster is just done with Sirianni, they would have fired him. So they didn't do that. They gave Sirianni an ultimatum like, hey, either we're going to hire some outside counsel to run this offense and defense and you take a step back, or we're going to fire you. Kind of the same thing they did to Doug a little bit. Doug wanted to keep everything in-house, which we did. He wanted Press Taylor as his OC. It showed because once Doug went to Jacksonville, who was the OC in Jacksonville? Press Taylor. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of nuts, Aaron Jones with Super Chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, we are undervaluing Dotson. Just wait. What do you mean by that? Oh, are you saying as if, oh, yeah, you're saying he's going to play really well. I mean, he should. I understand what Dotson brings to this team. Like he's not coming in as a number 2. He doesn't really have that much pressure on him. Okay. Like I said earlier in the stream, how many defenses have a legit starting 3 cornerbacks, like 3 really good corners. There's not a lot of teams that have a third really good cornerback, especially on the inside. Not a lot of teams that have that, because you're not just going to see Jahan Dotson on the inside. Devontae Smith could play the slot. Like, they're going to be moving guys around depending on matchups every single game. We didn't move anybody last year. We stayed basic all year round. But because of not having that, if Green Bay has a third safety that's not good, they're going to put a safety on him. And he beats safeties in his career easily. Percentage-wise, he could run every route in the route tree. He's been very successful. And to be honest with you, I think I agree with a lot of Commanders fans. Okay? What's his name? The offensive coordinator last year for Washington. I keep forgetting his damn name. The one that was the KCOC that went to Washington. They ruined Jahan. They didn't use Jahan Dotson the right way. And the offensive line was horrible. The offensive line couldn't keep up with blocks. Jahan Dotson looked worse last year because of quarterback play, because of offensive line play. Okay, I believe that. A lot of Commander fans have said this already. A lot of them have came out and said this. I know the difference he's going to be. Okay, Quez Watkins got cut from the Steelers. Okay, he got cut. He's out of there. You know what I mean? And then people were like, we'll bring him back. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I'm done with that shit. I'm officially done. Yes, Eric Bieniemy. A lot of Commander fans were saying that about why Dawson's season last year was, there's a lot of reason towards it, man. A lot of reason towards it. Headin said, I'd rather not run Saquon through the dirt. Ajayi and Blunt lead us through the playoffs just fine. Keep him fresh. Well, look, you want to keep him fresh, but you're going to give him the ball. You're going to have the guy can handle over 18 carries a game. Okay? There's no resting him every single game. Yeah, it's the beginning of the season. I get it. Like, I know Will Shipley's going to get his shot. Kenneth Gainwell's having a really good offseason. Okay, with Kenneth Gainwell, like, I have to give credit where credit's due. Not that I don't like the player. I just feel like the Eagles have treated Kenneth Gainwell like he's some dual threat back when he's not. Did we throw a screen past DeAndre Swift last year? No. Did we ever check down to running backs last year? No. This is a whole different year when it comes to the running back core now. Now you actually have a running back that's making a lot of money, okay? Like, you can't ignore it now. Like, you have to use Saquon. Yes, like, if Saquon gets dinged up, maybe you'll lessen his carries for next week to see how he feels by a day-by-day basis. You lessen his carries just a little tiny bit, let him get a little bit more healthy, and then, start giving him the rock a lot more. But I'm excited for the passing game with these running backs. Will Shipley, I think, is going to be a huge weapon. He could be another Danny Woodhead. It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me. With some time and some snaps, I think he'll do a really good job. Feel really good about it. We'll see how it's going. Frey Ray says, Joey, do you think we're going to have a rely on the offense to carry us through the season? I'm afraid our defense took a step back. We got to see when they hit the field, bro. I have no answer to say that what the defense is going to do. I have no idea. That's actually the really exciting part about it, since we don't know. We don't know if the edge rushers are going to get to the quarterback, because really Jalen Carter is the best defensive lineman we have right now. Like, we're hoping Bryce Huff and some of these other guys. And I like the blitz packages. I think that makes it more, the blitz packages, I think, makes this defense real sexy, because I feel you have an old school minded type coach that, is more of a passive off-ball multi-scheme, but what you're getting out of it is really, you're getting multi-scheme, but you're getting great blitz packages and guys being aggressive. You don't know who the offenses are not going to know who Fangio is going to send on blitzes. It could be 2 linebackers, it could be 1 linebacker, it could be anybody. It could be a corner blitz. They did a corner blitz in the first game against the Ravens with Quinyon Mitchell. So there's a lot they could do. The only issue I have going into this season with our offense is really they've played 1 fucking joint practice. The only thing that Nick has had control over was how they do the offseason program. I don't doubt that these training camp practices have been really demanding and probably the toughest these players have ever seen. Even older vets like Lane Johnson, like Darius Slay, have talked about that these practices are the hardest they've ever been through. They've been worked like dogs. Vic Fangio even said, man, if it was legal to put 2-a-days in the NFL, I would do it right now. Okay? So it already tells you how hard they're practicing, that we're not going to have these soft practices, relaxing practices, all the shit that Javon Hargrave said about this team when he was on the 49ers last year and said, well, it's more demanding over here. Over with the Eagles, you're relaxing. It's fun. It's a chill practice. You don't want that shit. That's the one thing you don't want. You know what I mean? But the offense is only playing for Jordan Love has played preseason. Patrick Mahomes has played preseason. Like, Jalen Hurts has only played a fucking joint practice. That's it. One, you had 2 practices with the Patriots, and you had a walk through the second. You didn't even go full pads the second day. No full pads. You literally went a full practice, and then after that it was nothing. You know what I mean? Travis, other teams are going to come out of the gate blitzing Hurts. We will know if they have the blitz pickup situation solved pretty early in the season. Yeah, from what Jalen Hurts has said already, apparently the Eagles are looking pretty good when it comes to that. We'll find out if that's true. We don't really know if that's going to happen. But yeah, I would think significantly it's going to look a lot better. So we'll see what happens. Chris says, now we see why Bieniemy didn't get a head coaching job. Yeah, I mean, I guess, Eagles Lance Quez is on the Steelers practice squad as of tonight. Hey, he still got a job. He's still making money. It's a Philly thinks the Eagles shouldn't have to play the Giants because the Eagles will blow out the Giants. Probably will happen. We'll see what happens. The green guy says, we can't have that like last year when we were begging to get the ball to Swift. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. No checkdowns, you gave Kenneth Gainwell like these dual threat reps. You made him look like more of the dual threat than it was so disgusting that DeAndre Swift broke 1,000 yards the second to last week of the season. That man should have broke 1,000 yards probably 3 weeks prior to that game. I'm not even kidding. Judah the Destroyer. What's up, Judah? Says Eagles come out sloppy after no starters in preseason, and then the stupid flight. Yeah, it's gonna. That's the flight, the time jump. It's a huge time jump. Your body's on a different clock, so it's kind of nuts. I would say Eagles are too invested in QB wide receiver to get all run happy with Saquon. Just shouldn't even be a thing. Well, dude, you have to have a run game, bro. Like, if you don't have a run game, you're going to get this is how the blitz is going to beat you when you're passing the ball too many times. Like, you have to have a run game. You have to tire out defenses. Like, there's no way, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that's where we're at, dude. Chris Swift had 39 catches for 214 yards. Yeah, it's fucking horrible. Remember what happened with Swift in training camp last year where they had him with the wide receivers and he was going out for passes like every day? And then as the season went, game by game, they lessened DeAndre Swift being involved in the passing game after game after game. Scrappy got money. Says Rams versus Titans Super Bowl 59. Titans win. Yeah, I don't know about that. Philly Flowers said we need a good enough pass rusher. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter need help. If Howie can fleece for the offense, he can go for defense if he wants to. Yeah, but does he want to give up high draft picks right now? I mean, it's already what? It's already friggin' gonna be Saturday tomorrow. The Eagles claimed a DT. They released Marlon T. They claimed Byron Young from the Raiders, okay, as a rotational piece. No, you don't have Fletcher Cox. I completely get it. You know what I mean? Jordan Davis has, even beginning of last year, I thought did really good on the one-on-ones. Like, I thought he was more of a run stuffer because I didn't think he was going to have a pass rush at all. But he did really well. So you're hoping Jordan Davis has those one-on-ones. Bryce Huff will have the one-on-ones. Josh Sweat. I haven't heard nothing from Josh Sweat this camp. besides his number changing to 19, what did we really hear from Josh Sweat this offseason? Not much of anything, you know? Ron says, you think there's any way Howie told Nick don't play a single offensive starter during any of the preseason games? Are we sure this was all Sirianni's call? I don't know. I was thinking about that earlier. I think it was very collaborative. Obviously, like, they don't want to copy everything they did last year. The practices have been harder, so training camp practices have been very demanding. So I know that's been a thing. But I think, I mean, the way they don't put starters in really good situations, like playing them in preseason, I think it's a lot of Nick. That's just me. Joe says, the thing I'm wondering about the Eagles green in Brazil, like, what if it's tied to a gang or something and fans start getting jumped? I don't know. Let's worry about that if that happens. I mean, let's not talk about something out of existence when it's not even happening right now. You know? Mr. Perez says, you think since we're playing in Brazil week 1 is the reason why we have a week 5 bye? I don't know. Like, I didn't really think we'd have it. Usually when you have a bad year, most of the time, I'm not really, usually when you have a bad season, you have a bad bye week. That's really, if you have a good season, I don't know. It switches. Some years it just switches. If you have a really good season, you make it far but lose or whatever, usually your bye weeks are pretty good. But we lost we were 1-7 the last, the second part we were 1-7. So from 10-1 to 1-7, that's what happened. So I don't think it had anything to do with it. No, I don't think so. I think the only person this really helps is Sidney Brown coming back. Sidney Brown comes back week 5, which is the bye week. So they could rest him for a whole nother week and get him involved in what we're doing. I don't know if he's going to get some playing time. He still needs to get in football shape, whether he is or not. He's been rehabbing for a while. He has been running around a lot, so he's way ahead of schedule. So you're hoping that Sidney Brown can come back. I don't like the early bye, obviously, because we have 4 weeks of football and that's it, and then we have to wait a week. Spud says, well, we're all going to play stars, but then our first 2 games had rain. Oh, I can't count a game that didn't have rain, bro. But he says, I now have it losing to the Pack, and I won't be too upset about that. You can only say that this team is going to lose because it's the first game of the season. You know what I mean? Why? I will be back on your YouTube channel next year. Eagles will not be in the playoffs at all, but Titans will win Super Bowl 59. There's nothing that tells you that the Titans have so many new pieces right now. Like, there's so many new pieces, and because they had a lot of money to spend, it doesn't mean anything. Okay, how many teams spend all this money and turn out to be horrible fucking teams in the year? I mean, who's afraid of the fucking Titans? I mean, Houston's taking the division regardless. I mean, we'll see, but I was just be a balanced offense. That's all you need to do. Rotate running back when appropriate. Yeah, I agree. Donnie said Kellen Moore will implement hot routes for Jalen Hurts. Team will eventually get rid of tired of blitzing us when Hurts keeps beating them. Yeah, that's when everything's gonna stop. When they start blitzing too much on Hurts and Hurts starts completing these passes, that's when we're gonna look really good, and teams will start to back off a little bit. Damn, Big D, you are ruthless. Donnie, last year we freaking lacked hot route, dude. Yeah, crossers, hot routes. Yeah, it was crazy, man. Kellen Moore is a huge effing upgrade. I was a huge fan of him being here. I was a huge fan of Kellen Moore coming here because I knew this offense was going to change dramatically. Dramatically. Reese says, how many snaps should Shipley get week 1? I mean, as of right now, probably not a lot. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know how the rotation is going to go. It really depends on how the offense is really running. He'll have probably the less of the 3. as of right now, so I don't know what the specific number is, but he'll probably have the less of the 3. Zay Boogie, what's up, man? Thank you for the super chat, my friend. He said, hey, Joey, hope all is well. Been watching yours of 500 vids more recently due to testing positive. Oh, shit, dude. I'm sorry. Can't wait for Friday. Go Birds. Well, I hope you're all right. I hope you're feeling good. I mean, if you've already had it, I'm hoping you're like just hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully you're not feeling horrible. But sorry you have it, dude. That sucks. I can't believe people are still getting this crap already. I've already had it twice or 3 times. Twice? I might have had it 3 times. I think I did have it 3 times. I think I had it 3 times. But obviously after the first time I was fine the next 2 times. But I hope you're feeling better though. Sitting home chilling. Hopefully the job is paying you and you're just sitting doing nothing. That's it. But we're ready to go. I appreciate the super chat very much, man. It means the world, my friend. Oscar says, let me make the bet the Eagles will make playoffs. All right, who is this guy? Who cares about the Titans? Who is this guy? Who is that guy? I don't know. Ray said, are the Eagles done with the read option? No, definitely not. Probably not. I don't think it's going to be as crazy, but I feel like you're going to run more under center. You're going to run. There's so much more they're going to do. Pre-snap motion. There's just so much more. I mean, Kellen Moore is a top 10 coordinator in pre-snap motion. I mean, the amount of times he does it is kind of crazy. Lord says, yeah, Titans fans have no reason to hate us. Definitely a fan of one of the lesser teams in NFC East. Could be a Couch Boys. Probably. It wouldn't shock me. Scribes, I will bet you 1,000 on Eagles will make no playoffs this year, but I like this YouTube channel. Number one, I would never bet with a complete stranger ever. And I would never, ever, 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 ever in my life bet with anybody that's a stranger. Keep the 1,000. It's all good. eBay boys, the Eagles should draft Travis Hunter. Yeah, he looks really good. Whoever it is, he's drunk. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm just to a point now where I'm sitting and I'm just waiting right now to be like, all right, well, what are we going to do? Are we going to make one more move before the season starts? I just don't think they've already made a couple moves. They claimed a couple guys already. I know they're not big moves, but they claimed a guy that's going to be in the rotation already, like already in the rotation. Marlon T released. They get that other guy, that defense, that JT, whatever his name is, which we'll talk about more tomorrow. But it's gonna be a crazy time. It's gonna be nuts. George says, "What up, Joey? NFL don't care about the players that they go to Brazil. They just want to grow the sport internationally at any cost." Yeah, they just care about this, bro. They don't care about the players. They just care about that. I hate this Brazil game. I've said it a million times. I can't stand it. When it was on the schedule, I couldn't stand it. I mean, we found out beforehand we were playing in Brazil before the schedule even came out. One advice is my 3 models have us winning, and the Eagles haven't lost a single game during the first week of the season during the entire career of Nick Sirianni. Some of it you'll say that's not great, but great stat, but 1. No, that's fine. I mean, look, that's great, but this is a totally different story now. You're not even playing in an NFL stadium, theoretically. I mean, you're going to a whole new place that's never been played before. Football's never been played there before. And that's where we're at right now. One of thought says that means during a quarter of the season when Sirianni has to prepare, they win too. Let's see. Infinite Posture says, I don't think another piece will make or break this team, hoping that OC and DC can jive with the deep talent. I think like that's why you're going to have these blitz packages, bro. If you don't get enough pressure, Fangio is going to have to call up a blitz. I mean, that's why we're doing it so much. That's why he believes in it. And unfortunately, like I said, I have to see more from this defensive line. Like I believe in Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Milton Williams is going to be a friggin' beast this year. The edge is where I'm really concerned. I like Bryce Huff. I know his pass rush is good, but you know, how good is he in coverage? How good is Josh Sweat in coverage? Jalix Hunt is going to be a great player for us. He's a perfect fit for this scheme. Brandon Graham, how much juice does he have left in the tank at this point? There's a lot of uncertainty with this defense. This is the first time, guys, we have to realize that you can't. I think they can have an average defensive line this year, but secondary wise, I think they're going to ball out. Like, they have a lot of fast break, open field tackling type dudes in the secondary. I think there's a lot of athleticism there. I think there's a lot of good personnel in the secondary. We have to be thankful that they did put resources into the secondary. Okay. How many times have we a great defensive line that's going to be consistent for you is going to bandage up your weakness of the secondary. But I don't think there's really any weakness in the secondary at all because, we still have to see it, but it's deep at corner. It's deep at DB right now. Safety depth is right now. You don't want to get an injury there. The linebacker position, I think, is going really well right now. I think it's going a lot better than I thought it was ever going to be. I need to see what Zach Bond could do. I think he's the teacher's pet of Vic Fangio right now. I feel like I haven't seen enough of Zach Bond this offseason. I think Devin White's going to be great. Nakobe Dean, I'm surprised he didn't play in that Saturday game. The last game, I'm surprised he didn't play. And really, since the open practice where he really embarrassed himself, he's been really ascending upwards. I got to say, he's been actually doing a really good job. So I've liked Nakobe Dean. Trust me, I give players shit when they deserve it, and trust me, I'll give players praise when they deserve it as well. I'm not one-sided. I will eat my own words. Trust me, I've already eaten my own words this offseason program. And trust me, I wasn't one of those guys that was all in on getting Trotter Jr. I wasn't one of those, bring him home. I didn't really care. It's because if he's not, I don't want them to just draft him just because of that reason. But Trotter Jr.'s looked really good. Looked like he's got a good nose for the football. Really, all he's got to work on is his instinct to bring guys down. Whiffing tackles, I get it. But he's being disruptive, so that's a nice first step. Can't put too much pressure on him. He's a late-round pick. I can't kill him. You know what I mean? What am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? Trotter Jr. and we'll see. Oren Burks is a good player. I thought he was going to be a really good into the competition this offseason program, but unfortunately he was out with that knee injury for so long. So let's see here. Chris says they'll never have a team in South America, Mexico maybe. John says offense needs to be healthy and productive and carry them till week 10 so the defense can gel, become at least a top 15. Yeah, you have to be a top 15 to be average. Either really good or really average. And all you really need is average. Make the stops. I say this all the time, okay? Stop talking about Hassan Reddick. So you trade Hassan Reddick. I don't care about the sack numbers. He's a streaky player. We all know what he does from month to month. He's not consistent every game. What you're losing with Hassan Reddick is a closer, fourth quarter, minute and a half left, fourth down, game on the line. How many times did Hassan Reddick really pan out for us as a closer in some of these games, get that last minute pressure to win the game for us or get our offense back on the field? I don't know if we have that closer this year. I mean, that's where I'm kind of at right now with that aspect of the defensive line. So John said, let's see. The Philly thinks I hate that we are playing in Brazil. It makes no sense. The Eagles can't. I think a lot of people are hating this game. A lot of people are really hating this game. I don't blame them at all. If the Philly thinks that if the Eagles don't win Super Bowl 59, Nick Sirianni needs to be fired. Depends how far they go. I don't think they fire him off of a good year, but not finishing the year strong. We'll see how it goes, though. We'll see how it goes. 12 says, hopefully that field in Brazil is NFL football shape. Yeah. That's a whole nother thing, though. The other thing is, is it a MetLife field or is it unplayable? You know what I mean? I'm hoping it's not. You'll get the report before the game. It'll happen. Goes, remember when the Titans gave us A.J. Brown? I remember that. That was the best. That was a great day. That was a great day. When I believe the thing we must take into account is that the Eagles' defensive line 22 is great and 23 they suck. So which is Which is the real Eagles defensive line? We need to adopt a wait and see approach. Well, yeah, they were great in 22. They could have been greater in 22, but unfortunately they had like Hassan Reddick in 25%. They had him in 25% of the coverage, unfortunately. So they wasted him like beginning of the season. Yeah, I mean, you had a lot of depth. You had a shit ton of depth on the defensive line that year. You're not going to get a defense like that every single year, especially with your line. You're not going to get that. It's a wait and see approach with this defense. There's no doubt. It's a lot of new faces to this defense. You're a young look. Sweat's going to be gone after this year. Brandon Graham's going to retire. Like Lane Johnson's going to be the lone man that's like left. That's it. Like Lane Johnson is like the aging member of really the last Super Bowl and before. So you know what I mean? Like this team is very young right now. A lot of new faces, a lot of new. So I think adjustments will be made in game when it comes to Vic Fangio and what he does. So we'll just see how it goes, man. It was also off topic, but my favorite Joey moment at the end of the Bills game, Jalen Rush touchdown, you get up and scream and say, "Oh, my asshole puckered so tight." Oh yeah. Well, dude, every game was a fucking heart attack last year. Like that's what I was I was tired of this shit. You didn't have one dominating game offensively last year. Yeah, when Jalen Hurts put the team on his back in a lot of ways last year, he did, man. Even though the coaching was fucked and teams figured us out, cover zero blitz. And Nick Sirianni made no adjustments to defenses adjusting to us, not even in game, but going to our next game. You clinch a playoff spot relatively early, and you still, the only thing they changed in that Tampa Bay game was that they actually threw Devontae Smith on a slant 2 times, and he was on the other side of the field, 1 play each. It's crazy. Eagles Uncut. What's going on, man? He says the field is good field. I'm from Brazil. All right, well that's good. How is like Brazil in general, like where the stadium is, the cities around it? Like I'd like to know more. Lazy Ford Steve Biscuit says I don't like it, but it's bend not break. Keep them into field goals and we score. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's relatively you could say, hey, it's bend don't break. 1,000 paper cuts. You're taking. We'll see how it goes. I think your secondary looks a lot better. I think from a coverage standpoint, it's going to look better. That defensive line is really whoever's got those one-on-ones, whatever the slide protection is on passing on the passing game for any team that's playing us. We got to get wins. We need to get wins on those one-on-ones. We really do. Otherwise, I'm literally completely going to like by the trade deadline. I'm trying to get a pass rusher. Yank Ngakwe is still out there right now. He's still available as of right now. But well, I don't know. I guess they feel like they're good at the position, I guess. Because bro has Levis as QB and he's talking trash. Yeah, he's not talking trash. He must be like 15 years old because I don't know. I've been on YouTube for 9 years. Like it's the same shit all the time. So what if I says that AJ Brown trade was Howie masterpiece? How is his replacement Treylon Burks? Yeah, I mean Burks just got to stay healthy. Really, the main thing with Burks is his health, man. He's been hurt, like nonstop hurt. Too much to type. Chris says, Scrappy, you weren't even alive when the last time the Titans won the Super Bowl. I know real Titan fans. I'm friends with a diehard content creator on here that knows his team really well. So John Crook said, I hope they press more on 3rd and short. Yeah, I mean, even in red zone, like for some reason, I think it was a mistake. Like Josh Jobe, like some of these guys were lined up way too deep. They were in red zone. They were lined up way too deep. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. But Fred says, Carter or Davis are going to take a double team. The homie's got to get free. Yeah, like you're going to have the one-on-one matchups, dude. If I don't see any pressure, like I mean, we're going to see. I think we're going to be surprised what we're going to see. We're going to be surprised. I have a good feeling. Like I'm obviously the defense is a question mark because there's so many new new pieces to it. But I feel like we're gonna feel really good about ourselves. I'm hoping. Leon says, sounds like you want to know more about the more than football. JK, bro. I don't like the scheme either, Lacey Ford. I hate this scheme. Trust me, like I wish they changed schemes. Like I like the more aggressive approach. So. There's the AJ Brown 2.1. I think is Xavier Legette and Panthers got. Yeah, he looks really good. My Eagles record prediction 14-3. I agree. So I think our linebacker group is going to be solid this year. I think it's went a lot better than I thought. Like I feel like if you feel like we're getting production out of actual positions, I think we've gotten a lot of production from corner. We've gotten production from a little bit on the edge with Jalix Hunt. Obviously, Jalix Hunt being more of a perimeter guy for us. But I think linebacker has been pretty damn good. I think we've seen the ups and downs during camp, but I think players have really started to adapt really well. Bobby King is actually the linebacker coach, and he's got a lot of experience. I think he was with the Titans for a while. I think more than like 6 years, probably a while. But he's got a lot of experience though. So I think linebacker's been a lot better than I thought. I didn't think Trotter Jr. would be where he is right now. Nakobe Dean, I didn't think he was going to be kind of where he is right now. Let's see. Like I'm not gonna say anything that I'm not gonna say Nakobe Dean's like anything special right now. But he's trending, in a good direction. So we'll see how that whole thing goes. And we'll see where we're at. Ron said, I know it's early, but hypothetically, are you looking for us to draft on an edge in the first round and tight end in the second or third and 25? You're going to draft an offensive lineman. You're going to draft a tight end. You're going to draft an edge guy because you're losing Graham. You're losing Sweat. They need to find out what they're doing between Jordan Davis and Milton Williams by the end of this year. That's really the big question at DT is going to be between Milton Williams and Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis, this is his third year. So after this year, there's going to be contract discussions. But he's really got to have a good year. Like if he's having like a mediocre year, like he's doing things here and there, and it's just not consistent enough for me, then you might have to sign Milton Williams before the season ends. Milton Williams is going to, and I never liked that pick. I thought the Milton Williams pick was an analytical pick, which it was because they really drafted him because of his testing. He has that short area explosiveness coming off the line. There was video that came out during the press conference, not from the Eagles or the beat writers. It was actually a fan that was watching the offensive line, defensive line drills. Milton Williams is going to wreak havoc, dude. And I'm never that high. When I saw him with the way he was pushing, I mean, it's amazing. It was amazing. Big D said, what's your thoughts on Van Summer? I mean, I think he's Ben Van Summer, and I think he's great. I think he's a freak athlete. He just needs more terminology and needs to have more instinct on his on tackling, and I think he's gotten way better at it. He definitely deserved a spot on the roster, no doubt. He's had a good camp. It wasn't just the third game where he really shined, but I thought he shined on red zone defense where he made a tackle. He's a tough kid, man. Ben Van Summer, undrafted free agent from Michigan, man. Michigan State. Yeah, he looks like and it's weird because Ben Van Simmeren was, before he was a linebacker, he was a wide receiver for a lot of years. So, playing him downhill, he's good. I like Ben Van Simmeren a lot. Elaine, what's going on? Say, hey, Joey, it's very concerning about this Brazil trip. I wish the players could ban the trip, stay home in the U.S. It's a shame they have to no say. It sucks. You better hope nothing bad goes down over there. You're hoping to God nothing bad happens because that's going to be a huge shame. Huge shame. We got 190 in the chat. Thank you guys for coming in tonight on tonight's stream, Friday night, late night. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you guys have it. Make sure you like the stream. If you guys have it, it helps out the channel tremendously. Check out the memberships in the pinned comment. Grab yourself a membership for extra content during the season, and obviously for support of the channel. And check out the Philly Shakedown merch, which I will show at the end of the stream. Go get your merch. Me and Philly got the redemption line out. Link is in the description of this live stream. Check out the merch. You got men's, women's t-shirts, sleeveless t-shirts, youth t-shirts. You name it. We have more surprises this week, so it should be a lot of fun. We have some stuff coming out. We're actually very excited for, very pumped for it. So appreciate it. Chris says you may have to keep Milton over Davis. Davis is not a bust, but a rotational piece at best. We got to see, dude. We don't know. We got to see. So you think he's pure rotation right now? He showed me way too much in the beginning of last season to give up on him as he's just a rotational piece. It really starts with him, and unfortunately, they're lacking. I'm not saying they don't have another nose tackle because I think Milton Williams could be a nose. Like anybody, like Vic Fangio said, anybody that's a DT right now has to play nose if they can. So I'm not saying everybody's great at it, but Gabe Hall was a player they lost, unfortunately. I think I don't know if he's on practice squad now. I'm not sure. But Gabe Hall is another guy that probably would have been the number 2 if he stayed healthy at nose behind Jordan Davis. But I don't know. It's going to be, you're not going to be able to sign both of those guys, but hey, you never know. I said the same thing about AJ Brown and Smitty, that they were never going to sign both of them, that it would never happen. But Smitty took a lot less money, which who would have expected that? Not many people. But it's a class act for some of these players. These players care about, hey, I'm willing to get less money for another guy to get paid, and we play together for another fucking 5 years, counting this season. So it's great. Chris said, bring back World League if they want to expand the brand so badly. Ron said, I could see Howie paying Milton over Davis. If Milton has a dominant season, Davis is just okay. At the end of the day, Milton is a homegrown talent. Howie likes to keep those guys. Yeah, and another problem you're going to have is this, like, Jalen Carter is going to get paid in 2 more years. Like, Jalen Carter is going to be in his 3rd year next year. You know what I mean? So you're going to have more down the road. Jalen Carter, from what it looks like from the preseason games, there's no scheming, but they're slide protecting. And it seems like Jalen Carter, they're not even doubling Jordan Davis. They're sliding on Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter beat Trent Williams last year. Look at the tape look at the tape of Jalen Carter last year. So much, just a wasted year last year because of bad coaching behind it. Like, as soon as you start using these players to their strengths and what they can actually do if they're coached right, Jalen Carter is going to be an all-pro. I mean, he should have an all-pro season this year. There's no doubt about it. So it's going to be a big decision. If they pay Milton before the season ends, okay, and I think they'll pay him before the season. If they pay him before the season ends, it'll make more sense of like, oh, shit, we need to sign him now before he gets better, and then they're going to have to pay him more money. They'll pay him at a certain moment where he's not going to be a high accolade of a price. And I was never a Milton Williams fan. He's gotten better every year, but this is the year where he's probably going to have his best year of his career right now. Quiz says Milton hasn't done anything. Got to see him in more snaps before we can make that call. Oh, well, that's not right. I mean, Milton has done nothing. He hasn't done anything. What do you mean he hasn't done anything? Look at his statistics. It's gone up every single year. Besides last year, it's gone up every year. But everybody played bad last year. Don't single Milton Williams out. Don't single any of these other players out. Don't single anybody out. Like, this whole defense played bad. The Fletcher Cox was probably the top player that played well last year in the rotation. Like, nobody played well last year. Don't just single one guy. That's why I can't stand when I respect it, but at the same time, everybody played like shit last year. Everybody was missing tackles. We couldn't get pressure on quarterbacks. Everybody suffered last year. Everybody did, I respect the opinion, no doubt, but to say he did nothing, no, he's done. Besides last year, he's done really well. He's done really well. This weekend, I'll have my Green Bay. I'll have the Green Bay Eagles matchup preview this weekend. Me and Philly will be previewing it tomorrow night. So, Stuart says Milton is a beast in limited snaps. Can he be every down? Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to be in a rotation though. Like that's the thing. But the thing is, these guys don't have to play every down. They're going to be in a not a heavy rotation, but they're in a rotation, like a 5-man rotation, whatever, 5-play rotation, whatever it is. You know, nobody's a 3-man. You know, a 3. You know, you're gonna have to see what they could do and what Milton can do as a 3-down guy. But Milton's not starting though. But at the same time, we rotate guys, see what he does. We'll see what he does, man. Like I said, it's a wait and see approach. We'll see how it goes. The coverage has to be good for the pass rush to work. The pass rush has to, helping turnovers, helping interceptions, helping anything to help that secondary out. The less time they have to cover, the better it's going to be. That's how it goes. Evan Potter says, what's your biggest concern going to the season? The offensive starters not playing enough. Preseason. That's likely number one concern. Number 2 is tight end. Number 3 is, I don't know. I could probably say just Vic Fangio and how he's going to run this defense. But number 1, yeah. The most valuable part of your team really is your offense because you're putting, just because I'm saying most valuable because you got to have some games 30, 35 plus this year. There's no excuse for this offense to be in a fucking shootout every single game, relying on overtime kickoffs and shit like that. Steve says, people had no idea when they talk about Milton Williams like that. I'm going to go out and say that that's the start of the season. He's our best defensive tackle. Carter will take that spot over. But until, like I said, Carter is the best defensive lineman we have right now. Depending on if they slide protect him, the amount of guys on the edge are going to have those one-on-ones. Jordan Davis might have more one-on-ones. We saw early in the year last year what he could do with better in shape this year, a better motor, a better system. We're hoping for him to be good. Milton in the rotation is going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. He plays way too good. You have to sign him. I'm giving it 10 games. If he shows in 10, 11 games, holy shit, look at what he's doing this whole year. They really have to, they got to get something done. I'm giving Jordan Davis, by week 10, if he's not wowing us to that point, I don't even know what to say. I'm expecting him to be, he's the nose tackle, so I'm not expecting him. I don't care about the sack numbers, it's not about that. If I'm not seeing him be disruptive or holding his ground, not getting off blocks and making plays on the run, then it's a problem. It's going to be a problem. No doubt. Steve said you can get a second rounder for Milton Williams. A guy as a backup. That's was picked in the 3rd round. That says everything for him. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan. All right, Jonathan. Have a good night, dude. 125 says infinite posture. I'm pretty sure every Eagles fan biggest concern is for the Eagles D to be as bad as last year, and our biggest hope is for our D to perform as good as 22. Yeah, you're not going to get those 22 seasons like that. You're not going to get those 70 sack seasons. It doesn't happen. You don't need to have a 70 sack season to be successful. You really don't. Your secondary is going to be more involved, not just your defensive line. Your defensive line, we can't depend on the defensive line every single drive. Yes, you need to make plays. I get it, but these linebackers playing downhill, blitz packages, your secondary getting off these fast break, getting these fast break tackles. It's really going to make the big difference. Elaine said, holy crap, I just saw that thing behind you. It's creepy as hell. Oh, Art the Clown? Yeah, he's awesome. He's freaking awesome. We definitely need a few blowouts, dude. Pause. I don't know why it sounded weird. But, yeah, we definitely need that, no doubt. They didn't have one last year. I don't want to I could deal with one crapshoot, a second crapshoot, a playoff crapshoot, But when it comes to like every single game is a heart attack on TV, that's just I can't deal with that every week. Then you're not making adjustments. Your talent is only taking you so far. Fred said if JD don't take an impact by midseason, you got to go for real. Yeah, by midseason, if Jordan Davis is like very blah, I mean, I don't think they're going to get rid of him. Because he's cheap right now. He's relatively cheap. I know he's a first round pick, but he's going to be a lot cheaper than what we re-sign him for. They're going to keep him in for one more year. Or maybe they try to trade him. They can always trade a guy going to his last year of his deal. They can always trade a guy. You know what I mean? I trust the Eagles drafting process. I trust what they do in the draft room. You know what I mean? Having some extra second round picks, extra thirds. I mean, be great. We don't have an extra third right now, so we're hoping we're going to get that back, which we usually do. So Daniel SV says they better run the rock this year. That's for sure. Oh, yeah. Not only run the rock, but get the passing game going with these running backs. I think it's going to be really exciting. Twist says Milton and JD play two different positions. Who are you talking to me? Well, yeah, I know they play two different positions, but you still got to pay both of those guys regardless. Doesn't matter if they play two different positions. You still got to it's your defensive line. You know what I mean? You paying two guys between this year and next year. You're paying Milton Williams after this year, and you're paying Jordan Davis after. I don't care if it's two different positions. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, you're losing Brandon Graham after this year. You're losing Josh Sweat. You could potentially lose Milton Williams. And then after this year, Jordan Davis goes to the last year of his deal. I mean, it's a lot of guys you could potentially lose. So you got to look at where your money distribution is. So Fred says tomatoes, bro. One gots to go if they ain't producing. Yeah. Ron, I don't see it happening, but what if we walk into Brazil and beat the living hell out of Green Bay, man? Like, what a statement we would leave. We'll see. I'm expecting a close game. I'm expecting a close game as well. I'm hoping they run away with it in the second half, but it probably will be a close game. So it's a JD job for other to open other guys up. It's not him. Stats with him. Keep the backers clean and take the double team. No, I get it. No, 100%. That's what he should do. He might not take the double team though. He might not take the double team. He might not. It depends. Like if they slide protect to Jalen Carter's side, because Jalen Carter is more of a threat than Jordan Davis. You know what I mean? So if they slide to Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis might be that one-on-one, and everybody else will have those one-on-ones. So either or, like we're going to get a combination. We're going to see what offenses are evaluating which defensive lineman they're trying to get doubles on every single game of the year. And I think Jalen Carter will be that number one guy. So we'll see how it goes. Steve said, hey, Joey, another thing I believe Vic is going to use the linebackers as the main guys to blitz the quarterback. You're going to see a lot of that. Yeah, the blitz packages are fucking insane. Fangio said, quote unquote, I believe in the blitz. That's a great thing. And it's not like he said it and he lied about it. He said it and he showed it during training camp, during these preseason games. We saw corner blitz. We saw like Zach Bond and Bryce Huff blitz and have, Devin White kind of clean up the middle. There's different things that they could do. I think they'll get better at it. I think they'll be very aggressive. Like it's a passive scheme, but man, if they blitz and they know how to do it, it's gonna be nice. Teams won't see it coming. Obviously, you got to be really good as a defensive player not to show it. Like you might show blitz a little bit, but at the same time, you don't want to give it away. You want to keep the offense on their heels. You don't know what you're going to give them, the issues that you're going to give them going forward. So I feel really good about the blitz game. I do, because I believe it's going to happen. Seen some good things from it. Fred says, have a feeling it's going to be much more balanced with Kellen. Just me talking. Oh, you're probably right. It should be, and he makes adjustments nonstop, But they have to. Jalen Hurts has to go through his progress. The number one thing is Jalen Hurts needs to go through his progressions. And you have to have some of these options that are open. Like, you have a lot of weapons. The check down has got to be there. Even with Saquon Barkley lined up, you're bringing another defender in the box. Another defender's coming in the box if Saquon's having a good run game, we're running good with Saquon for a game, they're going to bring another defender in the box. It's going to create big plays for the Eagles. They're going to notice that. They're going to exploit it. That's where they're going to be at, you know? I've had Peacock anyway. I've already had it. I have Peacock. I have Paramount Plus. I have Max. I have Disney Plus. I have Hulu. I've had all that shit. Peacock is what? $7, $8, $9. I mean, it sucks that you have to pay for something, which really just blows. Already paying $450 for Sunday ticket, you know. $450, it ain't fucking cheap to watch football when you're out of the area. Wins the 5-7 posture. You're right about those short passes, but in 22, Slay and Bradberry had a good season, which made us pay them in 23. Every games where our opponents were trying to come back, they targeted. Aaron says, honestly, the Packers don't really scare me at all. Yeah, like, I think they're going to have Josh Jacobs is obviously a big free agent that they acquired. Jordan Love's a good player. The thing with Jordan Love, it's just like, to me, he's, I think, going to, how do I say this? I think he got a lot of attention when he beat Dallas in the playoffs. I think when he beat Dallas in the playoffs, he looked really good. I think he got a lot of attention. He got a lot of praise for that game. A lot went into this offseason, giving him a new contract. Because really before, like, Jordan Love had that, like, 2-year deal that he ended up getting, and then he went from that 2-year deal to, a bigger deal now. He got a lot of attention from that. And he's a good player. He's not a bad player. Is he better than Jalen Hurts? Is he really going to top off against us? I don't know. We'll find out. This is crack stream. Because the Super Bowl will be on pay-per-view. Nah, Super Bowl won't be on pay-per-view. Hell no. Charge people money to watch the Super Bowl. I'm surprised they haven't done that already. Trevor said, that's my issue. I don't think Sunday ticket buyers should have to pay for these one-game subscription channels. NFL ripping us off. $450 I got to pay. $450 because I don't live in Philadelphia. It's crazy. It's a lot of money. Fred says, I get Peacock on my coverage through my provider. Don't use it, but the one Eagles game yet. Yeah, dude, like, if you have it, dude, for nothing right now, use it, bro. Use it. That's all I gotta say. Just use it, dude. Get it going, man. Eric says, we got to remember that's still a 9-8 team. Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's true. Like, you're acting as if the Packers, like, blew everybody out of the water last year. They went to a playoff game against one of the worst fucking playoff teams. They got beat. They handled the Cowboys. Jordan Love got a lot of attention from that. He got a lot of attention from that game. YNG says, I know Stream East is sketchy, but it's free. Yeah, the problem why I don't do the Stream East shit is because the timing is so off on those streams. I can't stream a game where I'm like, you're going to be like 3 minutes behind with watching it on there. If you're just watching it and you don't care, who cares? If you're a casual watcher that just watches football every week, who cares how far behind you are? As long as you're watching it, who cares? But for me as a content creator, when I stream these games, I can't use a third party thing and use it, and Joe Camero, what's going on, man? Said, I'm glad Clackstream still exists because who want to pay that much money for stuff? I don't. I hate it. $450 fucking dollars I gotta pay. I don't know what the exact. It's like $447 or something like that. So it's just I don't live. If I lived in Philadelphia, it would save me $400 something a month, $400 something a year. But I gotta pay it. What am I gonna do? Like when it was on DirecTV, I was able to pay like $70 quarterly, which was great. $70 quarterly, and it was only $300 something at that point. Now they're literally forcing you to get YouTube TV, and they're like, oh, get NFL Sunday Ticket $50 off with YouTube TV. And it's like, nah, dude, you're paying $60, $70 a month for YouTube TV. And they're trying to trick you thinking that you're getting Sunday Ticket for cheaper. But realistically, you're paying probably more or just as the same because you're still paying for YouTube TV every fucking month on top of it. It's like, we'll take $50 off, but you get YouTube TV, you have to pay $60, $70 a month for. So it's fucking insane. Taco says, Joey, can you send my wife home? God. Well, there'll be a lot of that tomorrow night. Fred says, Green Bay is on an upswing. I'll admit it. We're coming off our Super Bowl hangover team, but better. Way better. Better coaching behind it. Not even just not better players from the draft. Draft was killer. Looking good right now. Free agency was great. And production from new faces this offseason program has been good. The only question I have is I need to see the defense needs to get reps. The defense just needs to play to get better. The defense just needs to, they're not going to be gelled when the game first starts. It's going to look weird, and then they're going to tighten up and make adjustments. The offense has no excuse. That offense has no excuse. I don't care. I don't care if you had Jahan Dotson, Saquon. It's that offense is fucking stacked. Tight end is a problem right now. I get it. We'll see what it looks like if they move up. They're going to move up. If Goddard can't go, they're definitely moving up Driscoll. Sorry, they're moving up Jack Stahl, or they're moving up, obviously, E.J. Jenkins. It probably will be Jack Stahl, most likely. We'll see. I don't know. Calcaterra, can we trust him at as the number one tight end? We got to find our number two tight end after this year. We need to find it. We're not going to find our number one. I hardly doubt it, but at least try to find your number two. Yeah, YouTube TV is $60, $70 a month. Remember when streaming services came out and it was supposed to be like the new cheap thing? Oh, don't buy cable, get these streaming. Like, streaming services are like, just think of it. Like, you get, like, you pay for Max, right? HBO Max or whatever it is. When you add Showtime, and you add Showtime for $10 and this thing for $10 and that thing, you add these other channels for $10. Like, you know what I mean? If you buy YouTube TV or Pluto TV or one of these TV subscription services, which I actually use for the draft. So for the draft, what I do is I use a TV subscription service. I do the free trial for it on a different email and a different debit card. And then what I do is I cancel it after the draft is done for 3 days, so I don't have to pay for it. That's what I do. But you have to use a different email every time, and you have to use a different card every time that you'd never used before, because it recognizes that and it won't let you purchase. So if you buy Pluto TV, if you buy YouTube TV, right, you're paying $60, $70 a month, right? And then what happens is YouTube TV is going to say, okay, what other channels do you want? Because there's going to be other channels you can add. Showtime, HBO, all these other sports, ESPN, 10, 15, $10. You're pretty much paying for basic cable plus more. It's not cheaper. It's not a cheaper option. They're trying to rip you in some way. That's how it is right now. That's where we're at right now. Where am I? BTC, I paid $391 for Sunday Ticket. Yeah, dude. It's fucking crazy, dude. I want to save that money for something else. Like, I don't want to spend fucking $400 on. I love football to death, but to like watch one game per. I mean, I have to say that YouTube TV. Watching Sunday Ticket on YouTube was actually pretty good. I thought it ran pretty good. Watching 4 games at once, which I never do, but I've done it. It's very fast. It's not. It didn't lag. It didn't slow up. Like, I thought it worked pretty good. But still, though, just because I don't live in Philadelphia, I got to pay fucking over $400. to watch football, I gotta watch. Yeah, you know who plays in my area? Jets and Giants. Jets, Giants. That's it. Who the fuck wants to deal with that? Not me. The best thing to do is steal, bro. It's true. I don't blame people for going on third party options. If honestly, if I wasn't content creating, I wouldn't even. I would just fucking watch it on a third party bootleg bullshit. I wouldn't even care. But because I'm live streaming, it's got to. I could be delayed by a little bit, but it's, at the same time, it's got to be up there. So what up, Joe? Another day. I say hello to Twiz. Steve said, I liked what Jalen was talking about on ESPN. He basically told everybody that Kelsey was calling the coverage and not him. I've never heard of that before, and it did hinder his game. That was kind of crazy. Yeah, I guess took a lot of pressure off Jalen Hurts, but you know what? This is going to be a whole learning experience. With Cam Jurgens coming in that center, this is going to be a big experience for him. I think he's been fine. I think he's been used to it. I'm not really worried about that much. I'm not really worried about the situation like at all. So, we'll see. Steve says, and I believe that new receiver we got is going to have his best year because of AJ and Smitty. AJ and Smitty talk very good about him. Oh, Jahan Dotson. I mean, I'm not expecting him to have, as a number 3, I expect him to have, 400 to 500 yards. But you never know. Because Jahan Dotson is not coming in as a 2, okay? Him coming in as a 3 is a totally different ball game. What team is going to have 3 good cornerbacks? Not many. Put him on a safety, he's going to beat him in open space. When it comes to press and contested catching, that's where he kind of lacks, but he knows the whole route tree. He could run anything. Jahan Dotson is playing for himself. Just think about it, right? If Jahan Dotson, just say he plays well this year and next year, he's literally on contract for the next 2 seasons for 24 and 25. $1.5 million cap hit this year, $3.5 million cap hit next year. They can keep Jahan Dotson next year. And what they could do is they could trade him. They need as many draft picks as possible, okay? Especially if they play well this year. By the end of the 25 season, if they feel like, yeah, let's trade him and try to flip him for a big draft pick, sure. Why not? His value is going to go up. Being with AJ and Devontae Smith is going to put his value over the top. Because a lot of teams do see him as a number 2 as well. He's just the number 3 in Philadelphia. This is the first time for him being like the non-factor. Not really the non-factor, but is he the 5th option? Is he the 6th option? He's probably the 6th option. Put Jalen Hurts in that. He's probably the 6th fucking option at this point. It's insane. But being the 5th option regardless, yeah, it looks pretty damn good. Really good. Mr. No Name say, Joey, who do you have coming out of the AFC? The AFC Championship versus the Eagles? It really depends, bro. AFC wise, I feel like the Chiefs will still be good this year. Baltimore might make a big push because they have a stacked team. It really just depends on Lamar Jackson and the big moments. NFC, I mean, right now I think the Niners are still going to be in contention. They're going to have Trent Williams sign. Brandon Ayuk just signed a big deal. I still think they're very deep on defensive line. I feel like you're going to get a rematch with the 49ers this year. That's just me. And I think it's going to be between Baltimore and KC. That's where I kind of think. I kind of want to see what Houston does. The Houston Texans. I want to see what Chicago does. Because they're stacked right now, but they have to prove it during the year. Now they need to see if their coaching staff is the right coaching staff for the moment. So, I like Chicago, I like Houston, but AFC it's going to be Baltimore, KC, and probably getting a rematch with the 49ers again this year. Potentially could be. So we'll see what happens. See what happens. Oh my god, fucking LimeWire, bro! You just took me. You just took me the. There was actually Blue Wire too, wasn't there? Blue Wire as well. Fucking LimeWire. Come on, you were one of those dudes that downloaded something that you shouldn't have downloaded, and you changed the title to it so nobody would know what it was by clicking on it. Come on now. I think everybody's done that. I think everybody did that back in the day. Come on now. I'm not saying I did, but I'm just saying. Thus, I could see paying like $30 a month. That would be fair. $1 a day. Yeah. Witch King says YouTube TV is like 73 for me. Yeah, it sucks. Fred says, remember it was like 150 a year back in the day? Main good time. Yeah, well, a lot of things were cheap back in the day. Toro said a lot of people complain about Sunday Ticket YouTube, but I thought it was better than how it used to be when AT&T. I think it ran really good. I was actually shocked that it did. I thought we were going to be. I thought because so many people were watching on YouTube TV, that were watching NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube, that it was going to crash. I mean, that's what I thought, but I'd have to say it actually ran really well. I was actually pretty stunned over it, to be honest. How'd you become an Eagles fan in New York, New Jersey area, or originally from PA? No, I'm not originally from PA. I'm from New York, born, bred New York. Born, bred New York. I have family members that are Jet fans, Giant fans. I made a bet the Eagles were playing one day when I was like 6th grade, 7th grade, probably. The Jets played the Eagles one night. I bet on the Eagles. I won the bet. And then it was like during the week, like I just started watching the Eagles more. I mean, that's really all. That's really how that really happened. Kind of crazy. It was very random. Because I played football. I played Pee Wee football. I played in obviously high school, and I actually played in college. I played Division III for like a fucking year, 2 years. Sorry, 2 years. I didn't have a career I wasn't gonna have a career in football. I was an intern bouncer at a casino. I was a security assistant at a casino for an internship at Whitestone. Whitestone? Is it called Whitestone? Upstate New York casino called Whitestone. And yeah, I used to do stocks. I did stocks, and then I went from stocks to business management. Then I went from business management to hotel and casino management. Then I started doing security at the casino, and I played football on the side, in college. And I was a defensive end, I think, in college. Right? No. I was a DT. Was I a DT? I think I was a DT. I can't remember. I think I switched a bunch of times, but I think I was a starting DT in college. I know that. I used to go to the Syracuse games for free. Like D3 guys going to a D1 fucking game and seeing these guys like way bigger than us, were like, holy shit, dude, these guys are fucking humongous. It's kind of crazy, RG says, hey Joey, who makes the first team Hall of Fame ballot? Kelsey, Brandon, Cox, Peters, Shady, and Deshaun. I don't know. I mean, if I had to choose, right now, it wouldn't be Cox. I think Shady is due. Deshaun is due. Kelsey is. Peters should already be due before a lot of these guys. Before Kelsey obviously is going to get it, but it probably won't be this year. I don't know. But Mark Holmes in Charlie, what's up? He said the Cowboys playbook must be like a blockbuster movie, lots of hype, but no real ending. It's fucking true, bro. The last reel says wait, what does it say? The last real poet says that son is gonna do over 600. Who? Philly says think this is the year of the unknown. Week 1, win or lose, will tell where we're at. Well, I mean, it's not week 1 doesn't tell us where we're at. I mean, sure, initially it will, but they need They gotta gel within the few weeks. Last year, oh, give Brian Johnson more time. Give Brian Johnson more time. We like kept saying that every fucking week. I was like, all right, let's it's already like week 5 already, and like we're still like. Dynasty, I was watching Alex Rollins quarterback school, and it showed Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson screwed up the O-line formations, hot routes, etc. Just crappy coaching. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised over that. So he only needs Dawson to average about 30 yards a game. If that, just make a couple of catches a game and take an additional coverage away of AJ and Devontae. Yeah. I mean, he might not take coverage away, but I mean, look, you're going to have to pick your poison because who are you going to double team? You really can't double team anybody. I mean, I'm only 6 foot, I think. Twist says, I would love to be in the opposing team room trying to figure out how to stop our offense. Philly D says, just want to see confidence. Last year was embarrassing. Well, that's true. The last real poet says, if he balls out, how are we going to pay him? Fred Flores says, Philly D cut off the fat and got upgraded the secondary in the draft and traded for Chauncey Gardner. Better twist. What's going on, EC? Charles, the AFC, probably the Chiefs again. It's worthy of legit deep threat and look out. Yeah, I mean, potentially. That's where it's going to be. Let me move down a little bit. Chris says, I'm originally from the North Jersey also, but it was more Randall Cunningham for me than maybe an Eagles fan. Yeah. I mean, definitely a fan favorite. I mean, I wasn't alive during that time, so I couldn't tell you, but what if I have us winning the Super Bowl against the Bengals with the sack fumble by Nolan Smith to stop Burrow from completing a comeback? Oh, no shit. Wait. Which Nolan Smith? Who are you talking about? Big news is I'm from Syracuse and an Eagle fan. Yeah, that's great. I mean, upstate New York fucking sucks. There's nothing up there. Like, there's nothing up there. Two Jet Stoics. The people might not agree, but with odds stacked against us, we have done well. So the Brazil stuff might be okay. I do hate it though. I can't fucking stand it, dude. I think it's horrible. I don't like how it's the first game. Like, at least if you're gonna have it, make it fucking week 6, week 7. Like, why make it fucking week 1 of the season? The only good thing about this game, it's on a Friday night, and all of us are not gonna be at work the next day. I have a regular job. I'm a supervisor at a regular job. Okay, like I don't sit here all day. Like I have a regular job. Like I have a 9 to 5 I go to every fucking day of the week, and it sucks. Okay, like, and sometimes, you want to make time for these things, but. Yeah, the new uni combo is nice, Rodney. I like the black helmets. I wasn't even a big fan of the black on black. I'm not really a big fan of those black helmets. I feel like the helmets need to be in that matte finish, how that the Atlanta Falcons have their helmets, kind of like that. But the black helmets with the white jerseys with the black pants, gonna look nice. I think that's really nice. With the black visor on, that shit's gonna look that shit's gonna look badass. The last real post of Dotson is going to stay open. Potentially, yeah. You have more faith in Nolan than I have? Who does? I do? Not right now, I don't. Philly D said, I literally can imagine Twiz making a moonshine with Twiz spike. I don't know what we're talking about here. I love my job. Well, that's good. I mean, I don't hate my job. It's just like I deal with bullshit every day from some people, so. So it's the NFL screwed over both Packers and Eagles by scheduling an opener in a foreign country with no bye week after it. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd be pissed if we had a week. The good thing about a Friday is that they can rest for an extra couple days. You have like a mini bye right now, technically. You have a mini bye. Technically. The season runs from what? Monday to Sunday, right? Monday to Sunday. So technically, the Eagles don't have a Monday night game the week after. The Eagles don't have a Thursday night game, I don't think, the week after, right? So potentially, like, they have like a day, they could rest the guys for another day or two. Bleed Eagle Green says, you think soon you'll be able to make YouTube your full-time job? It is my full-time job. My full-time job right now. I do this. I don't take a day off. I never do. It's very rare. The only time I really take off is when I'm on vacation. And when I'm on vacation during June, July, I schedule videos throughout the week. Like, I don't do videos that whole week. I literally make like 6 videos in one sitting, and I make videos for the whole week. And when you see them come out, I'm technically not uploading them on the time. I already have them pre-recorded, and I do all the thumbnails for them, and I never take a day off. Barely. You know? Joseph, if we overcome the Brazil game, we're going straight to the Super Bowl. I wouldn't go that far, bro, because if the Eagles get hot way too early, can they sustain that the whole season? Like, that's what I'm saying. If you could play okay in the beginning of the season, get hot at the right time, and sometimes you can get hot pretty early. And if you could stay that way, it'd be great. But it's really staying that way through the whole season. I don't think that game will show us kind of where we're at as of like just hitting the field. That first game isn't gonna define us. It's just gonna define really the first game. There's gonna be a lot of blame to go around if they lose this game, because they're gonna say, oh well, they look like shit because this is what happens when the Stars don't play in preseason. This is what happens. Remember what Nick said last year. Nick said the same shit last year. Nick says all the offseason program is going to change. And I think it did regarding like more demanding practices. I think there's been more up and demanding practices. But realistically, it doesn't matter how hard the practices are. I mean, it does matter. Like I pray to God that they're very demanding. But, your starters aren't getting any playing time in game-like situations. Just think of it. In joint practice, is Jalen Hurts getting tackled? No. Defensive linemen are running right by him. They're letting Jalen Hurts throw every pass. There's value in joint practice for wide receivers, for corners, for linebackers at times. There's value there, but not for everything. Not for the quarterback. I don't think there's value only for the quarterback just making consistent throws. Other than that, you're not getting tackled to the ground. You're not, you know what I mean? And your mindset in a joint practice as a quarterback, you're not getting thrown to the ground. So that switch turns off a little bit. You're playing your hardest, but what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to a joint practice. But you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's a totally different. When you're in a game, like a preseason game, yeah, like no one's taking it easy on you. Like they put you in a preseason game, you're going to get hit, or, everyone's coming after you. So. He says, you should take Mark for a drink, get him drunk, record him saying too much he loves Dak while crying about 500 dominance and YouTube gold. Yeah, well, it's not surprising. It goes that way. Tal said it's a long season and we have an early bye week. I hope we don't run out of gas. The last repost, in order to stay hot, we need to stay healthy. If we could do that, we could be awesome. Wondervav says, which we won, and we started to cry like every Vikings fan because Eagles fans said Nick wrong sucks. Huh. Kelvin Prince says, Nick Wright is a troll thinking the Eagles are going to be the third best team in the NFC East and miss the play. Yeah, I saw that. I saw a clip of that. It's what it is. He just hates on the Eagles. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't get it. Elaine says, I like the black and white, but prefer black and Kelly green. Yeah, black and Kelly green would be nice. I mean, I would love the white helmets. Like, if they made Kelly green away jerseys, yes. White helmet would be fantastic. I really would wish they would do that one year if they could. Ryan says, I betted that this game will be over 48 points. I mean, we'll see. But I don't know if it's going to be over 48, but I mean, it might go back and forth. I want our defense to make stops. I mean, I really do. CZ to Joey. Joey, we should have joint practices with better teams if we don't play stars in preseason. That's true. It's really up to the coaching staff and the relationships they have with other coaches around the league, who they want. I don't think they look at like we don't want to play against a sucky team in joint practice. Like, like the Patriots. I don't think the Patriots' offense is great, but I think their defense is really good. Their defense is pretty solid. Chris, so I guess I'm not the only one that's worried about Nolan Smith. No, you're not. Chris says Nick Wright is a wannabe Skip Bayless. Ron said, how long do you think it will take for Jalen to get good at calling his protections against the blitz? 3 to 6 weeks. Hopefully not that long, but I'm trying to be realistic. Yeah, I mean, he should. It shouldn't take him more than 3-4 weeks. You're probably right. You're probably right at the starting point, at the end point where he really should start to be there. So, you know what I mean? So, calling his own protections. Kelsey took a lot of that. But this will be better for Hurts at the end of the day. See here. Phillies, the Eagles 31-17. Eagles are better than Green Bay. Joseph, our defense is good enough to beat teams like the Giants and Commanders, no problem. Yeah, we need to see what Jaden Daniels looks like, really. But other than that, I think they can, because I was afraid they were going to sign Ayuk. That was like I was afraid they were going to sign. They're really on a rebuilding stage. They've been getting rid of their best players since last year, a year before, with Chase Young and Montez Sweat. Logan Tom. A lot of these guys that they've had. I mean, they're getting rid of some. I think what's going on now is they're getting rid of a lot of Rivera's past picks. And Dan Quinn has really kind of put his own staple in the players he wants. He doesn't want leftover players from what it looks like, besides the really good ones that are getting paid right now. I said we should have a hunter green jersey, like hunter green jerseys, hunter green pants, hunter green socks, and call it Money Team. Twisted Joey, what makes everyone think Kellen will be a good head coach? Plenty of coordinators fail when they have more responsibilities. Yeah, but if you bring the play calling to the head coaching position, it'll be a success. Brian DeBole's not calling plays for the offense. Brian Dable's not doing that. And it looks like they're just getting worse by the year. They're failing at everything when it comes to everything free agency. Every signing has been a bust. Every signing has been a waste a bit of money. Decision making. I don't think Kellen Moore is the rah-rah type guy. So I think if you make the NFC Championship game and lose, or the Super Bowl and lose, or you win the whole thing, I feel like Sirianni will still be the head coach, but he'll be at a smaller position. He'll be at an assistant head coach, demoted to an assistant head coach. Kellen Moore becomes the head coach, but I don't think anything changes. I think everything kind of stays more of the same. Or Kellen Moore stays as the OC for another year after a really good year, and they just throw a shit ton of money at him. Which money talks, dude. If Kellen Moore, we'll give you head coaching money salary right now. In 25, they could potentially do that. Joseph, Jalen Carter sacked Jaden Daniels on college and picked him up and carried him around. Is that who we picked him up in the video? That's interesting. Leon, what's going on, man? He says, yo, Joey, why the fuck the media blowing up Jalen Hurts comments on Kelsey? I swear they're reaching. Yeah, I don't know. They need to find something to talk about, I mean, if the news is true that Kelsey called a lot of the protections, it took a lot of pressure off Hurts, I could probably believe that. And Hurts now going into this new offense now with Kellen Moore and what they're doing, this is gonna be better for Hurts at the end of the day. Maybe that was a really big problem. Kelsey calling I don't know. I mean, the coaching behind it was always going to be in question, but the quarterback has got to do all that though from now on. That's where we got to be at from now on. So we'll see where we're at. We got 224 in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button tonight. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you guys have not. We cover the Eagles every single day. We will be streaming every regular season game. We will be streaming 5 times a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be insane, crazy like crazy. Actually, 6 times a week because we do the post game on Sundays. So like 6 streams a week plus videos every day. The shakedown is tomorrow. Look at the pinned comment. Grab a membership. Support the channel. We'll have extra content for members during the season starting next week. A lot going on there. And definitely check out the Philly Shakedown podcast merch. We just came out with our redemption line. Me and Philly have been working with our guy in Florida. That's a big subscriber, big supporter of ours. And he's been doing really good work for us on what we wanted. We have more surprises of merch coming in the next week. I actually have to make some calls and see what's going on. But we have brand new stuff that's been out the last few weeks. So definitely check all that stuff out. Appreciate it so much. I have a Discord server I do with Eagle fans during the regular season. So every week I'll do a video chat with every subscriber. So I'll do group video chats with subscribers once per week. So definitely the Discord link is in the description. Definitely join up on the Discord if you guys have not. Join that up because a lot of talk in that Discord. I have 2 guys that run it for me that do a really good job. Just be respectful, obviously, in there, but it's a good way to connect to other subscribers and connect, especially with me as well. So. But DC, I'm not worried about the offense. It's the defense that's incredibly suspect. Yeah, I agree. Danny says, join in late, but here, I'm so anxious for this game. I'm so throttled. Pause. Yeah, dude, I'm at a point now where I'm like, just get this week over with, bro. We're going to watch some football next week, It's going to be fun. Steve said, did you hear that RG3 asked CJ Garner how he felt about D versus the Packers? He said he was nervous. I didn't hear that. Did not hear that. We got the Philly 500 House of Mouse Club. What's going on, dude? He says, yo, Joe, are you buying a new jersey this year? I don't know. Another Kelly Green jersey, maybe. I don't know. I was thinking about getting a Quignon. I was thinking about either getting a Quignon, getting Cooper DeJean. I want to get a Chauncey Gardner-Johnson jersey badly, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how it's going to go, but we'll see. Jude Jetstow says, Nick is the leader type guys. Kellen is the brain to put talent in positions to win. Hence Shane Steichen. Yeah. I feel like, yes, like Kellen Moore is not the rah-rah type guy. We all know this. That's why I think if they still have a good year but fail to win the year out, I feel like Nick will still be demoted. Or they're just going to throw a bunch of money at Kellen Moore to be the coordinator with a bigger salary. That's how I feel like it's going to happen. Sills was tripping today. Was he? Was he really? Was he destroying somebody else's take on something today? Dylan says media making more out of nothing. It's the truth, Elaine. It's the fucking truth, unfortunately. That's where we're at in this world today. Hey, Jameson Smith says, I just ordered a Smitty Kelly Green. That's what I got. I got that last year. It's great. Danny says, so I had a dream. We used Van Sumeren as an all-purpose playmaker, fullback, tight end, margin. He played wide receiver. I don't know if it was high school he played. He was a wide receiver first before he went on defense. So I already got one jersey for the year, a new black Mulata. That's nice. I haven't got a black jersey in a long time. Bruce says Sills is an animal. Which way did you get Sills going ballistic all the time? Big D's the best color in jersey to get is Mitchell Ness throwbacks, Reggie White, Carmichael Benderek, Steve Van Buren. Yeah, the problem is I'm not spending I just don't spend a lot of money on Mitchell and Ness shit. I just don't. I'm not a big jersey guy. I'd rather wear an Eagles t-shirt with a fucking hat. I love jerseys, but I just don't buy them that much. Two Jet Stowe says, Brian Johnson showed us what it's like to have someone who can't scheme. Micah Parsons out of games. Yeah. Can't wait till that situation unfolds. It's a Philly thing. I have picked this Philadelphia Eagles to win Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. I hope we do, bro. There's nothing more than I want. Joseph Smith says, Yo, Joey, I think Kellen is a huge upgrade. He could do what Nick can't. Out-scheme himself out of trouble. Yeah. Making adjustments. Not sitting there looking pissed off. Nah, it's a huge difference. It's night and day. And as soon as I saw the news that Sirianni was backing out, Kellen Moore had full control. Jalen Hurts and Kellen Moore have a close relationship. They're taking things from what Jalen Hurts did last year. That was great, but they're incorporating a 95% new playbook into this new scheme. And let me tell you something. If I wasn't seeing this new scheme in person, like if we weren't seeing that new scheme, or we weren't seeing Vic Fangio saying, hey, I believe in the blitz, but he's not blitzing, I think we've seen both sides of the ball, the diversity of plays that Kellen Moore has, especially with that pre-snap motion that, we actually have pre-snap motion. We actually throw middle of the field. I mean, just think of it, dude. Keenan Allen had his best year last year, over 30 years old, had his best year. Okay, that's one guy. That's one dude. Mike Williams has been hurt. Obviously, Mike Williams is an injury-prone mess. Their first-round pick, Quentin John, I forgot what his name is. I think he's been pretty much a bust at this point. I mean, look what you have. Look at this is the best roster on paper Kellen Moore's ever had. No joke. It really is. I think it is by a landslide. Landslide. Ron said that that's not what CJ said. He was asked about going to Brazil, and he said he's excited, be scared because of the circumstances of rules. Dude took the quote way out of context. Evan Potter said, I just got a Midnight Green Shady McCoy for double duty Eagles and Pitt games. Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, look, the first, what was it? So McCoy's, LaShawn McCoy's doing his retirement, at halftime, the actual home opener? I forgot when they're doing it. I forgot when the Nick Foles retirement is going to be. I'm not sure. I gotta remember the dates again. Leon said I got a white AJ Brown jersey for this year. Cameron Plant said I got I got a half black and half green Dawkins. Oh, I see those jerseys. A lot of people buy those jerseys. They actually look really nice. Torb said, I only get Eagles Hall of Fame player jerseys or Pro Bowl jerseys. I got Mulata's because of his unique story of going from a rugby player to a potential Pro Bowl tackle in the NFL. Well, that's definitely worth the buy. Big D said, can't blitz all the time, especially against experienced QBs that are good against it. Yo, where you hiding? What's going on, man? He says, midnight. 6 days left, baby. I know, dude. We're here already. We're already here. We're either gonna be happy, sad, pissed off. I don't know what we're gonna feel in another week, less than a week. So it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. You're either going to love me or you're going to hate me. That's how I say it. If you love me, you're going to stick by me. Through the good, the bad, the worst, the ugly. You're going to disagree with me, but I get it. That's how it always is. I'm not fucking around this year. Right, so I'm going to the November 3rd game, Kelly Green game against Jacksonville. Yeah, so I think my girlfriend's going to the first, I think the Falcons game, and I think she is going to I think she's going to the Jacksonville game as well. I think she's going to those two games. Nick Foles is versus the Falcons on the 16th. Okay, so that makes sense. Basically, but definitely blitz more, force the QB to choose the option quickly. Oh, yeah, 100%. Drew Testo said, exactly. I'm so excited to really see this thing come together. They want it bad, and they are working hard. Yeah, it's a redemption year, bro. It's like we need to get the bad taste out of our mouths from last season, and that's how it's got to go. That's how it's got to go, bro. That's where we're at. 125-850 says, my offensive game plan is to pass the football to any wide receiver not covered by Jair Alexander because I'm only scared of J.A. on their D. Then I would run the football once they try to play 6 to 7 in the box. That's true. To feel like Vic Fangio is a good defensive coordinator. I think we're gonna end up respecting him a lot more than people realize. You know what made me like really not teary eyed? Obviously, it was like, remember like the Philadelphia Eagles put that video. You know, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and obviously Jeremiah Trotter was at the practice and he's like, oh, you know, he went up to Vic Fangio. He was like, I want to meet you. He's like, you're an old school mind. You're an old school, an old school coach. You remind me of Jim Johnson so much. And I was like, oh my God, you know. We're very lucky to have Vic Fangio. Like if this Vic Fangio thing doesn't work out, then we'll know it doesn't work out. But you have to give it more than a week. I'm gonna go through this game in the first week and say, hey, if they play like shit, I'm gonna say, look, they didn't play well. The defense didn't play well. You know what I mean? It's a lot of new pieces. I can't freak out over it or after 1 week going to fucking Brazil. No home field advantage. There's just so much more that goes into it, you know. So that's where I'm kind of at right now. Big D, I'm probably going to be going to the Cleveland game. I have a friend who's coming in for Florida. Oh, dude, I hope you have a good time, man. Look, to get tickets now, dude, like, to get tickets, it's like, you got to know people for tickets. It's fucking insane, dude. I know somebody that owns 4 seats, so usually I'll get a seat if I really want to go. I'll go. He'll charge me like $160 for one ticket. Not that he's making his money back on the ticket. He just really wants me to go. Like, he'll give me a ticket for like $160 and just go. And on the 50-yard line midsection, which is perfectly fine for me. Not high all the way up top, but like midsection. So, you know. Turbos, I hate weeknight games because sometimes it's hard to get out of work in time to get home by the start of the game. Yeah, I get it, dude. I get it. We're behind the Eagles fans. No matter how perfect Jalen performs, Friday will nitpick his. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, we're gonna be like, oh, there'll be a million videos out of, oh, he missed this guy. This guy was wide open. Like it's crucial, man. Like he's gonna get a lot of shit. Mister, I threw over 200 passes in fucking preseason. Like I threw over 200 passes in the offseason with 1 pick on the last day of training camp. Like, you know what I mean? Like. You're hoping, you're hoping it's gonna all matter by next week. It's all gonna matter by next week. That's where we're gonna be at. So that's where we're at. But you see, we're definitely kicking the Falcons' ass. I'm not gonna. If you come out of that Packers game 0-1, dude, it's you do not. I walking into that Falcons game is not gonna be a good idea. Like the Falcons, like don't walk you. They're not going to be some like easy team to go beat. Like their defense looks really good. Their offense don't look that bad either. So they're starting to come back a little bit. They're starting to make some good decisions finally. But we'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? It's Kirk Cousins at the end of the day. You know, what time is that? What time is that Falcons game? Is that a prime time? I haven't looked at the schedule in so long. Like it's been like a while, so I forget all this shit for a while. Oh no, dude. When is that game? When is the Falcons game prime time? What is it? Don't tell me it's a fucking Monday night. I keep forgetting. Like, what is it? Because that's not going to be good. Monday Night Football? So what? Okay. All right. Oh, that's not bad. That's actually good. That's actually really good for us, actually, because that gives us we can rest guys for an extra like 2 to 3 days. That's a long because who has a game on Friday night? Nobody does. So a Friday night game, you can rest guys. You're gonna rest guys on Saturday. You can rest guys on Sunday. Monday you can practice till next Saturday. Really, it's like not like a mini bye. It's not like it's kind of like a mini buy, but it's not really too much of a buy. You'll have a couple extra days to do some things. Ron said the Falcons is going to be a tough one. It's the Monday Night Football, and Kirk usually sucks Monday Night Football, so that's a play. Yeah, I mean that's why I want to know if it was prime time. Kirk has had a pretty good offseason, but we'll see how that goes. You know, it's a few things I agree with Big D, but the Eagles are blowing out the Falcons. Yeah, dude, I'm tired of the fucking primetime games. I'm tired. I'm tired of them, bro. As a content creator, it sucks. I'll just say it sucks because I'm up until like 2 a.m. on a fucking work night. Yeah, I have a regular job. I have to provide here, you know? You know what I mean? So that kind of sucks. But at the end of the day, it's, it's fun. Like it's fun, We'll see how it is. All right, bro. This dude is going. This dude's going. This is that weird ass Kenny Pickett fucking dude that's like Kenny Pickett over Jalen Hurts. Trade Jalen Hurts. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're blocked, bro. So I already know when I first see those messages, I already know I know it's gonna be a fucking it's gonna be a roller coaster. It's gonna be a spam session. Literally. That's the same dude that has like a million accounts that talks, oh, trade Jalen Hurts, Kenny Pickett's #1, Kenny Pickett this. I'm like, oh my god, dude. Just stop. Philly things I think I have the Eagles beating the Packers by 14. That'd be good. But he said Eagles being a top team because them to get more primetime games. Those are a big draw. Oh yeah, I mean that's of course that is. You know what I mean? Wait till the Eagles face the Giants and face the Commanders because you have Jahan Dotson. There's going to be some stories revolving around those two players about Barkley going back to MetLife or shit like that. It's always going to make a really good story regardless. You know what I mean? My mind said, I hate how he let TJ Edwards walk. Yeah, I'm pissed about it, but I actually really liked what we've done. I actually have really liked the linebacker competition a lot. Like I didn't think Trotter Jr. was going to do as much as he did. Nakobe Dean seems like he's playing pretty good. Really since that really embarrassing open practice that he had. Orton Burks, I really like. It's unfortunate. He probably would have been better this year. But, missing that whole offseason program with the knee injury that really made a lot in that game. You know who the biggest, I think the player that I like the most, okay? Not because they made so many plays, but I got to say, that Thomas Booker kid, bro, like, I'm shocked they actually kept him. Like, they kept obviously the final 53 right at the start of it. They kept 6 DTs, 6 of them. Like, fucking insane, dude. I didn't think they were going to keep 6. I thought they were going to keep 5. It was going to be, obviously, your first 2 stars, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carr, Moro Jomo, Milton Williams, and Marlon Tupelutu. But I like that Thomas Booker kid because I thought he really, he made some noise. I mean, he was always around the fucking ball. I mean, literally. That's the guy he was my biggest shocker. He was my holy shit, they actually kept Thomas Booker? No shit. That's great. I like that. Bruce says nothing beats those Sunday morning wake and bake games. Yeah, I like doing the 1 o'clock. Like I hate waiting until our game. Like you're watching other football games, but you're waiting for our game all fucking day. Can't stand it. Or even Monday and Thursday night, Sunday night. Even if Monday night you're not watching any football before that, but it's still like you got to wait all day to watch your team. Like I can't stand it, dude. Can't stand it. Ron said, "Do you think it's possible we trade for Hassan back? Like, what if the dude humbles himself and comes back for less because he knows he belongs there? No, dude. Dude, he still hasn't signed his fucking contract yet. Dude, this is just getting insane, bro. It's getting bad now. Hassan definitely deserves more than $14 million a year. There's no doubt about it. He's due 14.5 this year. He deserves more. I'm not putting that against him. But how do you not have this contract? How you don't have the pen and paper ready I mean, I don't get how you do that, you know? I don't get that at all. Twist says he's been banned on Jakey for being a race prick and started that beyond 500 BS on. Who the hell is that? Oh, I know what you're talking about. Trey said Pickett over Hurts. Bud McKee looked better than Pickett. I think everybody knows that. Torvald said I'm not a gambler, but I would take the under in this game. Joe says, Kenny Chicken, where he hides for the love of God. I pray this Bengals game later this year doesn't end in a tie for once. Yeah, I mean, that was really bad fucking memories. That I have a video on that fucking game when we tied. What was it like? We didn't kick the field goal or some shit. Like we tied up. There was rumors that we tied on purpose. Like we had Jake Elliott out for a field goal and he took him out, and then we ran a stupid play that was going nowhere, and we tied on purpose or some shit. I don't want to remember that shit. That shit was horrible. That was really bad. Bruce said I have to wait 11 a.m. Love that shit. BC, don't worry, High and Bengals are beating us. Money on my mind says Kenny better not be doing punt return or kick. Yeah, that's what I'm really afraid of, dude. Like, who's our kick returner? Since John Ross was released, John Ross was really the only one that actually had one decent kick return. Is it Shipley and Isaiah Rodgers? Like, who is it? Isaiah Rodgers has, you got to make sure you put Isaiah Rodgers on kick return. You better make sure he doesn't take a big hit and get fucking hurt. He's a prime starter for our secondary. You know what I mean? He's going to be the starting number 2 across from Slay. I honestly don't know who Kenneth Gainwell on kick return. God, they did it. They actually did it in a preseason game. He's not that type of player. I don't know why they treat him that way. Like he's some fucking dual threat speedster. I still don't get that shit. I still don't get it. Ridge says, remember Greg Lewis's kickoff returner? Who's the Eagles' kickoff returner? We haven't had a good kick returner since Josh Huff. That's how long it's been. Josh Huff. Yeah. Pretty much. Tracy, I was late. What do you think of the Eagles' new acquisition of Byron Young? Well, he's been in an odd man set on the defensive line. Great against the run. He flashes on pass rush pretty good. Great technique, physical, can throw bodies around. He's just a flash. He just flashes. The Raiders gave up on him after 1 year as the 3rd-round pick, and they literally got rid of Marlon Tuipulotu. Like, they released Marlon Tuipulotu and signed this guy and put him in the rotation already. Kind of crazy, right? So, hopefully see more. You know what I mean? Thomas Booker, These fucking edge guys need to make some noise this year. I know these guys are going in pass coverage, but man, I haven't seen enough when it comes to pressuring these tackles into the quarterbacks. I haven't seen enough of it, unfortunately, I'm going to say 31-24 Eagles, just because I feel like it's still going to be close. I think both defenses are going to play pretty good. We'll see what happens. I would say I would say probably another touchdown after that. I'd say I think they'll win by 2 scores, hopefully. Yeah, Tuipulotu's gone, dude. Yeah, they literally fucking flat out released Marlon Tuipulotu. Like flat out fucking they signed they claimed Byron Young off waivers and they fucking released him. Yeah. Raiders said Young was lazy. I don't care what the Raiders have to say because honestly, the Raiders literally the last few years they've been going from Oakland to Las Vegas. They've had head coaching problems. And by the way, he was around some good defensive players on that line last year with the Raiders last year. So he flashed a lot with good talent around him. It seems like they really like him because why would you release Marlon Tuipulotu that quick? I mean, they released him so fucking fast and just put this. He literally he got released off waivers 2 days ago, and they signed him yesterday. I mean, like quick. I wouldn't be surprised if they threw Cooper in the return. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They had him at punt return. I don't know if they've had him at kick return yet. Punt return, they've had him there. They had him in the last preseason game. They went on a couple punt returns, but we know Covey's taking that spot regardless. Covey won that job. So Michael Borowski says, "Where's Devin Allen this year? Now that Olympics are over, did he give up football? He should have gotten more of a shot." Yeah, I think Devin Allen should have had more of a shot. They never gave him a shot. But the problem was he went into camp with an injury from the Olympics. The high jump, whatever he was doing, the high jump or whatever the fuck you do, you jump over those things on the track, and he ended up getting hurt going into camp last year, so that didn't help at all. Reggie says at times Tup was playing better than Jordan Davis towards the latter half of 2023. I thought he flashed, no doubt. Maro Jomo, dude, I thought he's had a really good camp. What is he, a 6th-round pick? I mean, Maro Jomo's been. I like DT. I actually really like this year. Like, I know Fletch isn't here, bro, but we need to get younger. We need to get production. That defensive line coach, man, that guy's been a DC for Seattle. What's his name? Hurts something. I forgot his name. The new defensive line coach. Ton of experience. But I like that DT group. Very young group, man. Very, very young group. Juju, how do you feel about Jalen Carter going into I feel good, man. I feel like it's an all-pro year. He's the best defensive lineman we have. Like, teams are going to move protection towards him. Like, they're going to double team him. Like, they're going to try to stop him. 100%. He might have the double team slide protection. They're going to slide protect towards his side probably most of the time. You would think it's going to be Jordan Davis, but it might not be. You'll see. But even if you get 2 doubles, you're going to have some singles on the edge. And if you only double on Jalen Carter, you're going to have 3 guys that are on one-on-ones. Like, we need to find out who can win those one-on-ones. Yeah, the defensive coordinator's name. Sorry, the defensive line coach is Chris V. Appreciate it, man. He says Clint Hurt. I know it had something to do with Hurts' name. It was like Hurts or Clint something Hurt or whatever. But you're gonna have those. That's where it's gonna be. Those one-on-ones. You can't get pressure on those one-on-ones, bro. Like, next year, I feel like we're still gonna do it next year. Like, next year they're signing an actual defensive end next year. They're gonna move up in this draft and get their guy. That's what they're gonna do next year. They're gonna garnish some draft capital. They have 7 picks now, I think, because they lost a 1/3 and 2/7 from the Jahan Dotson trade. Last real posted Brian is decent. He just needs more time and reps. Yeah, like that's really all it is, man. He's flashed a lot. Like, but as a 3rd-round pick, you don't give up. You don't give up on a 3rd-round pick after 1 year. You don't do that. Cameron says they had to put Byron Young on the 53-man roster because they picked him off of waivers, so he can't be put on the practice squad. Well, at the end of they still had to release a player as well, which Marlon's gone now. So let's say I wish we could find a way to get Hassan back. It's too late. Would be great. It would be the weirdest thing that has ever happened in the league as long as we've been living on this world when it comes to football. But trust me, if they were able to get that done, it'll never get done. I'm just saying. The Jets will just keep garnishing his wages and getting more money into that cap. Every day of practice he misses, every game he misses, he'll whatever game check the CBA, whatever game check that they're acquiring from him when he doesn't show up to games. That's it. You know, they'll garnish all of that. They'll get that right back into the cap. And it seems like Joe Douglas is like, doesn't give a shit if he sits out or not. But they're stupid. But the Jets are dumb. They did a dumb thing. Money on my mindset. I like Gabe Hall. Hope he flashes, gets playing time. Yeah, he's been hurt, unfortunately. I had him as the backup nose. The undrafted free agent from Baylor. Yeah. 500 House of Mouse Club says, Joey, Alameda Zaccheaus is Washington's wide receiver 2. Is there something about Jahan Dotson we should know? No, I think it's honestly, I think it comes down to the usage of how he was used last year. Dan Quinn wants to get rid of Rivera's fucking draft picks. There's been a lot of rumors of Jahan Dotson and like his work ethic's been bad. And he was like, look, Montez Sweat just had a fucking interview the other day, a couple days ago, talking about the Washington Commanders, and they were okay with losing games. Like, the locker room morale was horrible. They were okay with losing. The mentality was horrible in Washington. That's what Montez Sweat said before going to Chicago. It's what he just said a few days ago. Read what he said a few days ago on the Commanders. And Brian, what's this called? The fucking OC last year for Washington. Apparently, they had bad play last year. Maybe Jahan Dotson was like, I deserve a spot on this roster. He was surprised. I think honestly, they're just trying to rebuild at this point. I don't think there's anything wrong with Jahan Dotson. Okay, A.J. Brown worked out with Jahan Dotson. A.J. Brown even said, I don't work out with anybody. Jahan Dotson is the only player I worked out with last year. And frankly, now it's great because now he's with us. I'm not worried about it. It's all a bunch of bullshit news. And that's where I'm at with the whole thing. I'm not really worried about it. Like, other people are like, oh my God, like, why did they, Torvald said, I said at the same time, Jomo was going to be better than Mozzie Smith, and Dallas took Mozzie in the first. We did Oz dirty. That's 100% correct. We really did. We never gave an opportunity. When Dallas Goedert went down, we didn't use anybody. We completely ignored the tight end position. When Quez went down, they totally. What do you have? Zaccheaus has 2 touchdowns for the year. Great blocker downfield. Like, Alameda Zaccheaus was coming off of his best year before he became a free agent and signed with the Eagles, and a really bad offense with the Falcons. He had over 500 yards, his best season of his career. Now Zaccheaus has a shot now, and see how he does. He's a good player, man. As a slot dude, I think they just never gave him a shot. Completely ignored him. Completely ignored the tight end 2 position. Like, find out what you have for the future. What does it hurt? But you completely just don't use these guys. Like, off of a season like we had last year, how do you analyze your roster at the end of the year? Like, morale was just fucking shit. Horrible. Just god awful. Hate it. All right, Mike said, what up, Joey? Did you see the unis for week 1 game should be canceled due to fires and viruses? Bro, don't tell me that, dude. Is it really that bad down there? Fucking Christ. That's crazy shit. All right, Mike, what's going on? It says, bring it to the link. Reggie says, bold prediction. Josh Sweat gets 3 sacks versus Kirk Cousins week 2. Nolan Smith gets a fumble recovery versus the Packers. I hope so. If we can get anything, if we can get something on that edge, I will be happy. I will be more than happy regardless. So Trey says, young DT room, but it's exciting. Pray to God Sweat returns to his 22 form. Yeah. And it's so crazy because since Josh Sweat has changed his number to number 19, besides his 3 sacks against backup Fred Johnson, what has Josh Sweat done this whole fucking training camp? I don't know. I've been reporting on it every day. I've been reading everything. It's the 17 days of training camp that we had. I haven't heard a fucking thing on Josh Sweat at all. Chris says, well, the Raiders aren't a very good organization, goes to show it. Well, that's so when it comes to Byron Young, like, I can't put too much on him, you know. The Eagles took him in immediately, and then they released Marlon Tupelutu. Like, they didn't think twice, you know. Big D said the Eagles may up being justified in dealing Reddick. Imagine that. Well, I mean, it's already a steal at this point. I mean, look, you might not get a second round pick if he sits out. It's a third round conditional for 26, right? So technically, like, they'll still get a third round pick for 26. You know, I would like to get the second rounder. Ron says, never say never, Joey. I don't know, man. It's tough to be anything past Howie. They could take their fucking pick back. You know what I mean? If they were able to trade him back, which I know it's never going to happen, but if they were able to trade that pick back, they could trade the fucking pick back. I don't need the 26th third round conditional. I don't even care about it, to be honest with you. But Joe says we are the 6th youngest team in the league. Our future is bright. If we could start getting some players on defense rolling, like, that's what I'm saying, dude. It's a bit like everyone's got to relax. Like, we're not used to our secondary having that many deep players. Like, we're not used to resources being put into our secondary. We're used to our defensive line really bandaging up the weaknesses to our secondary. That's what we're used to. Every year, defensive line has been look at the rotation and all the lines are so great, you know. But this is the first year where now everyone's freaking out about the defensive line. I get it. Like, all they have to do is be just average and make stops. They're really relying on the blitz packages, and Fangio's relying on blitz packages, and he's relying on these fast break tackles and athletically getting off blocks and making these tackles, getting 5-6 helmets to the football. That's what they're really relying on this year. I think they're putting more into the secondary for that reason. So, but we have 219 in the chat right now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the stream before you leave tonight. First, I kind of want to go over, if you guys haven't, like I said, subscribe, like, do all the great stuff that you do. We have the shakedown tomorrow night. Make sure, you know, we're staying on course. We have 6-7 days till the season. Can't wait. We'll be streaming the game next week. We'll be doing our thing. But if you guys have not, okay, if you guys haven't, I want to show this real fast before anything, because I did put a community post on it as well, if you guys did not see that as well. But the Philly Shakedown podcast merch, we have a bunch of new stuff. Me and Philly have been working really hard. We have more merch coming out, but we have a bunch of stuff out right now. The Redemption line is out. We have a Jalen Hurts shirt that's out right now, with some of his quotes on it. We have Saquon Barkley in an Eagles uniform jumping over MetLife on fire. We have the Swole AJ Brown shirt. We have the Slim Reaper Devontae Smith shirt. We have one of my favorites, the Swole Batman AJ Brown shirt. These shirts are high prints, guys. These aren't shitty prints. We work with a guy that puts he runs his own company. Like, this is a guy who runs his own company. He uses really good print. You can wash this shirt 6 times and it'll never fade. I have a crap ton of these shirts, and I've washed them over 3-4 times already and been perfectly fine. The link is in the description for the store. If you guys haven't checked it out, I'll put the link in the description as well, or at least for the live chat. It's in the description as well. But definitely check out all that great stuff too. We put a lot of work into the merch, and we have a lot more cool stuff coming, not just t-shirts. We have some other stuff. We have something limited edition that's coming out just to a certain amount of people, and a lot more. So definitely check out the merch there if you guys haven't checked it out. Trying to get this thing going as of right now. But I think that's really it. We could probably talk for another fucking 3 hours, you know. But we're almost hitting the 2 hour 40 minute mark. Yeah, everyone likes the Slim Reaper shirt, the Swole Batman t-shirt as well. Those have been like the really big sellers as of right now. So definitely grab one. If you have any questions about merch, just email me if you have a question about anything sizes for women. Women's sizes run on the small side. So if she's a medium, get her a large. If she's a large, get her an extra large. So just email me if you have any questions about anything merch wise or anything related to that. I'm around. I'm always on my email because of work. And when I'm at my normal job, I'm always on my emails constantly. So you'll catch me really quick on the emails. So definitely check that stuff out. I appreciate everybody today. Appreciate the super chats, all that great stuff. Very grateful. And we'll be back tomorrow night for the Philly Shakedown. And then we'll be back Monday for another stream. We'll have videos in between, obviously. We'll be talking about the Packers by tomorrow night. We'll have a lot going on with the Packers. We'll have a preview video on the Packers probably by Sunday, I would have to say. We'll probably Sunday. We'll be doing our preview videos for, obviously, matchups and all that great stuff. I need to watch more of Green Bay between tonight and tomorrow. So we'll have more on that going forward. Love all you guys. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being the MVPs of this channel, because without you guys, this obviously wouldn't be what it is today. I'm very grateful for it. I don't say it enough, but I love all you guys. All right. You guys have a great day. I'll see you guys on the Shakedown tomorrow night. Make sure you show up because we have a lot to talk about. And we'll see you guys on the next one. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. Shake someone up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Hit the like, hit the subscribe before you leave. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.